record this as I continually forget. He did. All right. He just did it right now. All right.
Let me go.
And for everybody who missed the first 30 seconds, welcome back to the Rowdy Bros podcast. This is our third episode. I am Degu. That's Troy. We'll be coming to you with some good stuff sports-wise, specifically fantasy football.
Yeah, no other sports here.
I mean, I'll be talking about other sports. Whether or not you engage is
no single other sport discussion on this channel other than Quidditch.
I mean, I'll talk Quidditch with you. What do you want to talk? Everybody want to tell me that Harry Potter was a system player. And Harry Potter literally won him the game several times. People want to forget that he literally got Oliver Wood a ring.
Look, I'm not one for the contract discussions and these prima donna players. I just wanna talk. I don't know what the Wizard equivalent of X's and O's would be.
You want to talk like Oliver Wood. You want to?
Yeah, I want to talk like structural plays.
Okay. So, do you think that Slytherin in year 5 and 6 was wise going bulk over skill, which is kind of what it seemed like adding to the beaters?
This is what Slytherin in 2002. Something about the 02 year.
I think this is like 9. So if I remember correctly, the series took place between 91 and 97. So this is probably like 95. I like to point out that Ginny Weasley was the seeker on the Quidditch.
I actually have an opinion on this, by the way. So yeah, they went a little bigger with Crabbe and Goyle there, right? And unusual too, just to pick second years, let alone an inexperienced secret. Which, like, what are we doing here? But it turns out that what enables the bigger personnel, the bigger guys is, I forget the exact term you used, but what enables them for this not to be a hindrance is they upgraded their tech, right? Like they bought some new brooms, and they're the best in the line, and they're playing against kids that are on power sweeps or whatever, like
clean sweeps. But yeah, I see.
Yeah, clean sweeps. Saying nothing clean about those. They
were clean in their day. Hang on.
Slytherin is able to provide the best combination of speed and power because they got freaking bullies, literal bullies with clubs swinging at other 12-year-olds.
To be fair, Fred and George were no kind souls either. They shoved that dude in a vanishing cabinet with no thought or care where he was going to go or if he was going to live. They have no remorse for their Slytherin counterparts.
They also kind of spied on people like the NSA for just years and didn't tell anybody.
Fred and George.
Yeah, worse than the NSA. Like,
it's not like they're out there using the information like that, though. They're just trying to get an idea of what's going on, both in the war and to try to get people to what do you guys want from your joke shop? There was a point in time.
Yeah, what do you guys want from your joke shop? NSA level surveillance, or
there was a point in time.
Fizzy Weezies?
Well, dude, they offered. They literally were supplying the Ministry of Magic with defense objects. Like these dudes had military contracts at 17 years old.
What?
At 17, you don't remember that in the sixth one when they go to the shop? Fred and George are talking about, like, we made him as a joke, but the ministry ordered 500 and they put in like pre-orders for gloves, cloaks, and boots and stuff, like all with anti-defense magic that Fred and George learned at school and from Harry and probably from random trips to the library. But they straight up had defense contracts at 17 years old. These dudes were made men, but they were ruthless. They had no remorse. They unwittingly drugged the kids while they were testing their products. They were testing their products. Harry says it. He was like, the kids woke up shocked, so I don't think most of them knew what they were getting themselves into.
That's right.
Like they drugged these kids, and they were like, "We're not hurting them," and it's like, bro, you literally are. You're drugging them.
This is what happens when you have a bad headmaster like Dumbledore
It's
in charge.
boarding schools. It's boarding
Just kidding.
schools. There's no way to avoid this kind of stuff. You can't have kids locked. It's like Lord of the Flies in there, dog.
Oh, I can't wait for that to come out, actually. I'm gonna watch the hell out of that.
I thought it was already out.
Isn't it this week or something?
I don't know. I I understand the premise, but I don't necessarily agree with it because, like, I don't believe that kids would do that. Actually,
I don't know. I
I
just
feel
don't
like
know. I've seen,
they
I've seen some
would
pretty
just figure it
stupid
out.
things, and I've perpetrated many stupid things, and I could definitely see. I could just see it.
Maybe if it was some Children of the Corn stuff, like where it was a demonic being who was possessing them. But I don't truly believe that kids left to their own devices would turn violent like that. And like sadistic, really, because it wasn't even just violence; it was like sadistic violence. They were some nasty little children in that book.
I forget what it's like to be 13, 14, 15 all the time. I just remember not thinking very clearly, and reason was not part of that a lot of the time. I wasn't like a terror or something to people except for you, but that was really pretty much over with by middle school,
No, I was gonna
from
say
like
by that time you'd pretty much, but like you'd stop doing that kind of stuff. Plus, I had gone to live with mom while you guys were all living with dad,
yeah,
and that kind of like that cooled off a lot of the animosity between us.
yeah. Some
Um,
space, man. We're all living on top of each other, and it was crazy. And we didn't have the best examples. Tommy and I, for older brothers. Our older brother's a piece of shit.
Still kind of is too, man. Fucking do anything for him, but goddamn, dog, talking to him sometimes frustrates me to no end. It's like talking to Uncle Ronnie, bro. Like I don't get you, but I don't know.
Yeah, all
They're
family.
good people at heart and they're taking care of what they need to take care of. But it's like, dog, I don't talking to you frustrates me. Even talking sports with Bruce, his takes sometimes they're like it's like a Skip and Stephen A dynamic, dog. Like,
Oh, he'll be on.
yeah, yeah, we're gonna see a bit of a Skip and Stephen A dynamic. I'm not gonna be sitting there yelling over him,
Now,
calling him a
now,
bum.
now, now, Bruce. Now,
Yeah,
now.
I'm not gonna be sitting there calling him a bum or nothing.
Now
But
hold
I
up. I'm
definitely
going to
like.
finish. But Kadarius
It,
Toney had one of the greatest Super Bowl receptions of all time.
there's gonna be moments where I just he and I aren't gonna see eye to eye on some stuff, and that's
Well,
probably good for clips though.
that is exactly the kind of stuff that everyone will remember and take against you personally for the rest of your life. So
I know
make
I'm
sure that you
excited
don't
for
say
it.
anything of note or consideration in in your gabbing.
I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna be out here calling nobody a bum, but you know, I
But
might, I
some
might,
people just
I might,
are.
I might use the words heinous sports take and should never have been allowed a mic once or twice.
Jeez, I have now verified my identity on 8 different sites
What are
in the
you
last
doing
like
right
2
now?
minutes. I'm just trying to get DraftKings up so we can draft for a chance of $3 million. The first prize is 3 mil this year.
I'm
It's
so
insane.
confused as to why that's taking you so long. Normally, it's I thought you had
Sometimes you're just not
three.
not feeling it. It's a little cold. You drank a little too much, so you just go in and give yourself a pep talk. I mean, I just splash some cold water in my face, rub my eyes in circles 4 or 5 times till I see little stars. And then, by the time I wake up, the morning's over, and then I can just go to work and pretend that it never happened. Just give yourself a little pep talk. Sometimes you're just not quite there. Anyways, let's get into a draft.
It happened to me when I was 24 and I stopped drinking as a result. That's why I don't drink anymore. I was like, I'm too young for this to be a
You passed
concern.
out.
It's not happening anymore. No, I was with the girl that I really liked, and I couldn't do what we wanted to do. But
You couldn't hop into a draft when you wanted to.
it was awful, dude. It was a horrible time. and I'll never let that happen again. So I had a case of the whiskey draft, bro.
The whiskey draft. I have had a whiskey draft. I've had whiskey drafts, definitely. Start fading
I've
out.
been
It's like it's approaching like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You had like one. You just had one. That's the thing too, is if you just drink one, like
you get
that
you
makes
get
you sleepy,
confidence in
you
your
know?
like 15th round pick to like be the home run hitter of the draft, and you drop him by like week 2.
Hey, man, that's the
Do
good
it.
part about best
Like,
ball is
man,
that
this draft was so good, bro. This draft was so good. You drop your number 1 overall pick in week 5 because you just reached too hard on Kyle Pitts.
can't reach too hard on Kyle Pitts.
Apparently.
That's it. It's hard. This readout is pretty terrible on the desktop. I
Have
have to
you
say,
tried reading it out differently?
it is pretty terrible. No, I can't read. That's the worst part.
Man, I told you to get this addressed. Your child is going to need someone to read them books.
There's solutions for that.
You're just gonna put on the Audible for him. Here,
No,
listen to this
it
book
turns
and
out
write
that the kid
just check.
doesn't need to understand, anything. They just need to hear your voice. And so I'm just gonna just go for it. I'm just gonna read what I
Say
think
whatever.
is on the page. Yeah.
Just start talking. Go based off the pictures. Make it up.
Yeah, and
They say a
if you get
picture tells 1,000 words, so you should be able to figure out 1,000 of them. You
I
can't
can't
read them.
even
You
or
can't
count
read
that
them, but
high.
I'm sure you'll be able to figure them out. I think you've said 1,000 words in your lifetime.
It's gotta be, right? At least 3 or 4,000.
I don't think you
Um
talk that much.
Depends how much coffee I have. I say a lot more around those
Oh
times.
man.
All right, all right. Finally, let's get entered here. Okay. DraftKings made some improvements to this tournament. Specifically, they're paying out $3 million at least prizes. Third place is 1 mil, second place is 2 mil, and first place is 3 mil. Did you get 150 entries? Probably will be maxing. We'll see. And we are going to have a full summer of drafting these teams. Now it's kind of late at night. And so we'll see if we can get it filled. If not, we'll try and switch to Underdog, play Best Ball Mania, which I've had a few drafts for. In the meantime, what I thought would be interesting is looking at player props. This is something we started to talk about with Caleb Williams. His passing yardage prop this year is 36.99. Which to me, if there's like a gold star bet of the summer, barring injury, that dude is hitting 36.99. I think last year he already passed that in his younger self. Like he's just going to take a step forward. Ben Johnson's not going anywhere, and his receiving core is better with Loveland coming into his second year, Luther Burden coming into his second year, and of course Romo Dunze hopefully staying healthy, with an awesome backup tight end Cole Kmet, who I think could start for most other teams, at least as far as the pass catching ability goes.
Yeah.
Great team. They're just going to be a good, solid team again. I can't get Underdog to load, so but our draft is starting at least. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen.
Yeah, I suppose as long as the offensive line is sound this year, I got no problem going Caleb Williams over. But that would really be my only point of contention if the offense, because there were a lot of points last season and the season before where Caleb's just kind of running for his life. We'll add your screen to stage, give it the whole middle ground. But I like everything about Caleb Williams. I like everything about the Bears offense as far as the skill positions goes, but I'm not well versed enough on their front five to give my full opinion there, to be honest.
I'm gonna
But
share this in just a second.
I do believe in the talent for sure.
Hey, we're at pick number 4. Are you cool with Puka? He goes right after Jamar Chase there, but before Jackson Smith, just to get our first pick set.
I think I'd rather have Jackson Smith, but who else
Some
is going to be
notes.
available? Is like
Oh
who?
yeah, you got your pick of Jackson Smith, Christian McCaffrey, Taylor, Justin Jefferson. All these guys go right after at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, respectively. And then Amon Ra, James Cook, and CeeDee Lamb and Gentry round out the first round with 12 picks.
I'd
This is
rather
another
start with.
20 round. Go ahead.
Oh man, actually, this one's kind of hard because Amon Ra is like he's going to have a year. I'm envisioning 14 plus 100 yards, a lot of touchdowns. Yeah, that's going to be a good year for Amon Ra. I like CeeDee Lamb a lot, obviously, because I believe in Dak to have a beautiful passing year, and CD is usually the catalyst behind that.
Yeah.
I I don't I haven't checked word out of camp yet, but I got to imagine he addressed the drop issues he's been having over the last couple seasons. Um, Keep in mind if CeeDee Lamb doesn't drop at least like 4 passes last year, he probably has like an extra 200 to 300 yards on the season. Given how far downfield he usually drops the ball.
I don't know if there's a bad pick in the first round other than the kind of pushback I hear
I
is
I don't want Puka. I feel like his off the field nonsense is going to get him into a little trouble where he's going to be missing time. He has no media training. He says whatever's on his mind. He does whatever's on his mind. And I don't like him in LA.
hey, you are in luck because Jamar Chase fell to us at 4.
Take him.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Man, what a dream setup, especially because I was scrambling to get back to my screen there. I realized I was sharing my balance on DraftKings, which is fine. You can know that there's a few $100 in there, but I'm just gonna try and hide that for the rest of the summer so nobody judges me.
I'm judging you, but
Yeah.
not for the reasons you're worrying about.
Yeah.
It's that half beard you got going on. I'm just kidding.
That half chub, what?
The half beard, dog. Oh my god.
I don't know.
No, there's no gaps. You're fine. I'm fucking around.
Doesn't look bad.
No, there's no gaps. You're good.
No gaps. No gaps. No gaps. Yeah. It's
dude with a beard.
you just jealous, man, because you ain't got the moves.
Okay, you can keep the moves, but I can grow a
You
beard.
can keep the moves.
You can keep the moves, but I can grow a beard. We're not going to talk about that. You've seen my big old bush.
Yeah, it's bushy, that's for sure.
Yeah. Bushy beard.
Oh, yeah, beard. Yeah, that's right.
Thick.
All right, fuck it. You guys already know the balance. We're doing it.
But I like my face a little more than I like my beard. So I like to show my little. Now that I have no more fat on my face, I like to show it off.
All right. Here we go.
Oh Lord, what do we got going on?
Okay, so just Jamar Chase so far, right? Coming up with the turn. Also, I'll say this draft room. It's kind of interesting. Let's see if there's any usernames I recognize. I know some of these logos, and when you start paying more attention to the space goof at all, this right here is Stochastic. This is one of the bigger sports advice platforms. They have a simulator tool that's pretty awesome for basketball and football. Good product. This is a ship chasing logo. And the ADP chasing logo, which there's a few guys that are pretty well known in the industry. Davis Maddock, Peter Overzed, Pat Crane, and some others. Jacob,
So
right?
we're playing against some dogs. Like
Dogs are people who know dogs or pay for the dog's information.
or pay dogs. Yeah.
It's
They got
usually what
attack
it is.
dogs.
I didn't
Oh man,
recognize I didn't recognize any of the usernames in there, but it's not like I do this all the time
my
either.
my
I
goal
know
is
a
to
lot of
get,
them now.
my goal is to be good enough at this and get good enough at this consistently that these people ask us and we can tell them to shove it because we'll just be good on our own.
Or we can provide other people some advice and
Well, yeah,
help
but
out and give back to the community and contribute to
right,
discussions.
but not to them.
No,
To
no,
those,
no. We're telling them to shove it.
that's what we're telling those guys to shove it. We're helping the community and everybody around us. But the rich
I,
people who've already rich from this, we could tell them to
dude,
go away.
I listen to them so often that I don't know. It's like I
That's
consider
why
them
you
almost
don't
my
win the league.
friends. Like,
That's why you don't win the league, Troy.
but I'm not. They don't do a lot of them don't do regular season. They just do best ball, and for best ball, that shit's paid off, dude. Like I took third place in a $120,000 tournament. In the same tournament, I took a 120,000 person tournament. Same
I
tournament, I
get
placed
it.
sixth.
I
The
get it.
next year, I
You
placed
can't be
15th
a
in the pit
fantasy
bowl.
football
And
podcast
I
that
was I was
brings
stupid
back
DJ
statistics.
Moore not getting a flu away from like making at least 50 grand. And I'm just come on. I'm getting some good advice overall. But what I really like about them on top of just being fun, especially the ADP chasing guys, is more about it's just more about the gaming of the overall structure. Like so for example, we went receiver first and then Omari and Hampton fell to us. Sorry, we're monologuing here. Completely missed the pick. Or I went off of reflex, I think.
Oh
But
goodness.
so let's lock in for this pick real quick and we'll keep going on.
I'm okay with Kyron, Smitty, Olave, not AJ Brown because I don't know where he's going to end up.
New England is a big theory right now. And it
New
could be
England,
Drake May's number one receiver with Romeo Dobbs to compete against.
go
And
Smitty.
that booty. Yeah, I like Devontae Smith a lot this year. He's going to be the beneficiary. We don't know where AJ Brown's going, but we know Devontae Smith will be the number one because he can do both outside slot, get open pretty
He's
much
just that
anywhere.
good. I think he's going to take a big step forward. I know the NFC East got really good on defense, but
Yeah. And
I
Mekhi
mean,
Lemon, as great as he's going to be, I think is still pretty young. I like Dontavian Wicks an awful lot, but I think he's just going to be the big outside guy. More dynamic than like a Romeo Dobbs out there, but like
right.
yeah.
Be like
And
Terrence
Goddard,
for the Cowboys.
like 10th round or whatever, just smash, total smash, like another 11 touchdown year. Like he's got to be second receiver.
If somehow Brees Hall falls, and I don't think he will, but if he does, I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of
Brees Hall a lot above the other players in this range. Oh, I forgot to tell you, DraftKings full PPR.
Okay. Well, that doesn't change a lot of what I've been operating off full PPR basis for a little while now.
Cool.
It's kind of like the assumed for me until people tell me it's a half.
Cool.
I do like Williams a lot if we're winding up picking in that range. Garrett Wilson, you'll be all right with. I'm not super confident in the Jets, but I think they'll take a step forward. I do believe that Brees Hall is going to give us some nice numbers though on a week-to-week basis.
Okay. He may or may not be there. We'll see. He's going to be at 38. Let's
Yeah.
start looking a little bit ahead, I guess, to see
So
who's
I
going to be right
do
there.
like Williams. I like Wilson. I'm okay with Wilson. I'm not a big fan of Zay Flowers just because the week-to-week production really won't be there. The end of season numbers will look nice. Don't get me wrong. He's going to have a very productive season, but week to week we can find more consistent production.
Do you distrust his ability to score like a spike? Or do you distrust his ability to score like 20 points every week?
It'd be more spiky. So
Okay.
like feast or famine levels of production.
Which is not bad for this format. Like it's great to have like 2 to 3 40-point games or 30-point games.
But you don't want to be looking for dudes who are going to give you enough famine. Like you want a 40-point game, but you don't want the 2-point games that are inevitably going to come with it.
I think Zay took a pretty big step forward last year in terms of just centralizing targets. All the other receivers fell off. There was a ghost of Isaiah Likely all year. Mark Andrews, he was fine, but just lacking. I think he got hurt too. I can't remember. And there was like some legal. I might be misremembering that.
I don't. There was a lot of issues
Um,
in the
So
Baltimore
it
offense,
just hit or miss, right? And then
but
Lamar himself getting hurt, also a big
changes a
step
lot.
back. And that's why I think like the Ravens offense is kind of undervalued because we didn't change their prices so much. Like Zay Flowers was going, well, Zay Flowers was going a little bit ahead of this last year, I think like at 36. Now he's at 40. But those
Mhm.
other receivers around him, I don't think anybody else has like a clear cut setup as Zay does. Because his only competition is going to be Rashad Bateman, who is feels like he's 40 now, but is still young and never really accomplished what everybody was hoping he'd be, but he's like an awesome player. And at best, it's like 2 catches, 30 yards, and a touchdown a week.
Right.
But they just drafted this rookie who I really like, Jacoby Lane. We'll be talking about him toward the end of this draft. Draftkings is 20 rounds, so we get 20 picks.
Oh, I
Uh,
like Judkins here. Just to get back on because we are
yeah,
on one
yeah,
pick
yeah,
here.
yeah. You like
Um,
Judkins?
yeah, I don't. I like Burrow a lot, but I don't like picking a quarterback this early, especially if we can wait a little bit and still end up with somebody like a Dak or um Lordy, the
Yeah,
one in Green Bay.
I'll start
Yeah,
Judkins.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
Any thought
Judkins, I
about
like.
DJ Moore?
So I was actually going to talk about DJ Moore right now because I do like him in this range. We didn't make a pick.
Ah, my fingers nimble enough?
My
No,
God.
it's okay. He'll
Who
probably
did
go,
we
but
who did we auto pick?
we got, Judkins.
Okay, I'll take Judkins. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I had him
It's
start up
just more the and okay to get back to it. I don't like Zay Flowers in the range that he goes. If you could maybe wait and get Zay in like the 9th or 10th round, maybe even in the 11th.
Yeah, right.
But
You
people
go to
people
the
reach on him, and it's I don't get the mentality there because the Baltimore offense has games where they score 13 points. They play in some bad weather.
there's some
Like,
recency bias because they closed out, the year so strong last year, and he's a player generally believe in because of the situation.
um, in
Uh,
this range, we are on the clock in a few seconds, though. We
yeah,
do
yeah,
need to.
yeah.
T Mac would be nice. Monty will probably be okay, but I don't really like the Houston offense consistently.
Oh god, I think he's gonna have like several 20-point games at least.
If
Montgomery.
you like him more than T Mac, we can take him. I like him a lot.
I'm cool with either. Cool with either.
Yeah. What do we have? Do we need a running back?
Yeah, no, 2 and 2. We're tied. We're even. Got 4
Okay.
seconds
Yeah,
though.
then it's best value. Monty's probably best value.
All right, let's see if we took him.
Yeah.
Got him. Okay. So yeah, I like Montgomery an awful lot this year. So think about what the Houston defense was last year, and then think about Woody Marks getting stopped again and again and again at the goal line. That guy's a pass catcher. He was always at USC. Yeah, and now we're gonna add a dude who I don't know how many times I saw last year was so hungry to play. He would
Right.
seek out extra contact toward the end. He'd be like pointing at defenders on his way into the end zone. Montgomery's a baller. Now his concern, he's 29 years old. Is he gonna take a step back potentially? But that's not the player I saw last year. That dude still got it.
I
And he's hungry. He's
especially
gonna get his
when you
own
get like
show on a
yeah.
team with no competition except for Woody Marks, who may be like a third down back, maybe. And then
He'll
Jawar
get a lot.
Jordan,
He'll get
who
some early
showed some
down target.
flashes too. But this is Montgomery's show through and through, and he's going to get lots of great opportunities because of that Houston defense. Top of that, Stroud, I don't really feel comfortable with, and D'Amico Ryans hasn't been like that impressive. He hasn't shown a lot of ability to mobilize like a Sean McVay offense or anything. He's just out there like, let's play defense to win. They have enough playmakers this year, though. That's the other thing too. So the pass, I just think Montgomery goal line back and all of the goal line work, no splitting. In
Right.
this offense, is Stroud going to execute from 5 yards out, or are they just going to keep their foot on another opponent's throat while playing defense and just man? I see 20 touches a game with the ability to stay on the field for passing downs and all the goal line work. He's a no-brainer to me, Montgomery, where he goes, especially with all the question mark receivers around him, all the holes as you were pointing out. Is he ever really that good? He's good. Is he ever really that good? And then McConkey, big step back. Most people considered last year. He's going to have less competition this year and a new offensive coordinator. Questions, but a good profile. Devontae Smith, we already know what to do. He's being taken regularly ahead. Just a lot of other receivers, but especially if you went like no running back at first,
Damn, did they take
Montgomery's
Price?
just sitting there to me like the golden goose. Like,
I
I
kind of
love
wanted
him.
to get a hand in on Jadarian Price, but they took him.
Oh yeah, he was going at pick 100 and all the pre-draft stuff. I think I have like 10
Now
percent
that
in
they
both
know he's in
formats.
Seattle, man, he's gonna have.
And
This might be
his price
rookie
is
of
gonna
the
go
year
up.
level production from him this year.
Yeah,
And if Seattle does anything good, like I think they will in the regular season, his name will be regularly called.
his price is gonna go up too by the end of the summer.
Oh yeah,
I'm
guaranteed.
pretty sure.
Yeah, if you're going to
All right.
be buying in on the Jadarian Price train, you got to be doing it early.
So we got three running backs now. We're up in
Like
3 picks.
receiver or quarterback, whichever is best value at this point in time. So given that we got 2 and 3, we've got productivity there. It's just now if we wait for a quarterback, are we going to get screwed into one of the ones we don't want?
I mean, there's good guys in that 90 range, right? We got Mahomes at 80, so he'll be gone. But let's start at like 90
I do
and
like
later. There's
if we
Goff,
can
there's
get,
Purdy, there's Kyler, all names I like.
we could
Right here,
probably
though,
wait for Dak on the turn.
76. Yeah, or get Mahomes or something besides
Yeah.
that. So
Okay. So let's go
skill position.
receiver. We probably need.
I like Tyson here. I like Tucker Kraft, the tight end. I like Mekhi Lemon. I know you don't as much.
Not as much. It's more just because I'm hesitant on the
Yeah.
Eagles offense as a
So
whole.
11, 6 or 5 seconds here. Start
Uh,
Tyson.
yeah, may as well.
Okay. I think we got it.
I assume because he's got no profile pick, he's a rookie.
Yeah, so Jordan
So I actually
Tyson,
don't know a whole lot about Tyson at all.
his story, his
Really?
story's had a couple injuries this last year, but he's
You up Dak to make sure we don't miss him.
yeah. If we don't get him, do you want to go quarterback or do you want to go Tucker Kraft or
Pretty much at this point in
receivers?
time, if we're not going Dak, we're going in on what I call streaming quarterbacks. Like we're going to be trying to find if there's higher production.
Jared Goff and Kyler Murray go at pick 100. We'd be right about there.
Talk about streaming options. I like Jared Goff a lot, but Kyler Murray is. I'm nervous. He could be doing great things. I don't know, but I am hesitant to buy in on.
We can take I'm open to another quarterback here. I'm open to Mahomes or
Mahomes would be
Lawrence.
fun. If Dak
We're
was,
reaching on him a little
it
bit,
looked like
but yeah,
Dak got drafted, but
yeah, let's do it. Let's just take him.
I think dude. I'm a big fan of what the Chiefs did defensively. I think they addressed a lot of holes that they had on their team, and if they're able to pull in one more solid receiver, I might be buying in on the Chiefs, retool train.
I actually don't know who they took this year in the draft. Other than the cornerback,
their first 3 picks.
they had a
were
running back.
Yeah, first 3 picks were all defense, all high upside. I mentioned it on draft night, but they traded up to 6th to take the Mansour Delane out of LSU.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And yeah, but the tape says he's a shutdown corner, but we all know what happens when a team trades up to 6 to take a cornerback out of LSU.
A lot of people thought he would have fell to 9 anyways, and they're calling like Andy Reid like it's one of the biggest draft day blunders of his career. And that's like including a career where he took Clyde Edwards-Helaire over, I think, was that the Jonathan Taylor year or
I don't know, but Clyde Edwards definitely didn't pan out to be what they thought he was going to be in the NFL.
No, he was not who we thought they were.
No, not even a little bit. I mean, he's a solid, serviceable player for a few years. Like he definitely had his day where he could do something, but it didn't last very long.
Yeah,
and I want to call out the Chiefs offense for that, to be honest, because they kind of just relied on that. Like Mahomes would scramble and throw it downfield to Hill and Kelsey, or like he would have MVS or somebody like that running bare on the backside. And the fact that he could kind of just run around and make those throws kind of bailed him out of having to run a real offense for a little while. And now that they're having to, we're seeing them struggle a little bit. But Mahomes is actually becoming a really solid quarterback within that frame. Now the rest of the team kind of has to just keep up with him there. And with Kelsey getting older and the receiving corps seemingly getting worse by the year, I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't. Rashi's pretty great after the catch. Worthy is fast as hell, but can't catch. And then Kelsey there is Mr. Reliable, who had a better year last year than people realize because he's just so old.
He was
But
solid. Yeah,
yeah,
he didn't look
what they're
like
missing is the ability to hand that ball off, and they just got that. And what they were missing was the ability to throw a little screen out there and have that go 70 yards. And they just got that with both Kenneth Walker and then hinted at their rookie they took, this guy Emmett Johnson out of Nebraska. The pass catching profile on him is among the best in this year's like prospects. He's really fast. And he's just an athlete. He's also really big, and he can catch the ball. That's what he's mostly known for. Out of there now, can he run between the tackles? That looks to be a little stuff left to be desired. But a really good compliment to Kenneth Walker, and Walker is just going to have a phenomenal season this year. I think he's going to absolutely nuke. Hey, we got 20 seconds for our pick here. Good tight ends available. What do you say?
I like Kittle. Yeah.
Yeah, he was going in the 130s this offseason, and I really missed that price. He all the reports are pointing back to earlier in the season. I think by week 8 at worst. Now, the thing is he's 31 coming off an Achilles tear. Modern medicine has been amazing. Yeah, we're taking Kittle over Fannin, who's falling 20 picks by this point.
I don't like Cleveland's offense.
I don't either. That's why
I don't know. I don't know. It's just because it's so up in the air with what they're going to do at quarterback. I think it's going to be Shador, right? But
we already bet on Cleveland's offense with Judkins, man.
We're betting on Judkins to be productive, and regardless of who they put under center, that's going to be true.
Yeah, as long as he stays healthy and he's okay after that leg injury. Yeah.
He had a kind of bad one towards the end of the year, right?
I do like that backup they have there, Dylan Sampson, though. I think he can play. He's not as good.
We might have to take him as a handcuff, to be honest. But this is a best ball league, so we'll probably have to. We'll probably have
on production from the Browns' second running back. That's crazy.
But the Browns' second running back, if it's the Browns' first running back, becomes a stud.
Yeah, like 15 touches a game stud. That's like a touchdown maybe. And this full PPR, but I don't think either of them catch that many passes. All right, we're on the clock again. We have a 1-3-3-1. We're pretty balanced all the way across. We got dudes like Wan'Dale Robinson, I think who we both like. Jared Goff's here again. Blake Corum, who I really, really like.
Wan'Dale.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
In that range, though, I do like Monangai. I'm just not super confident in his ability to be the only producer or the major producer.
Yeah. I think we needed a receiver there overall.
And one who's got a lot of upside, a lot of upside in his new offense. I really love Cam Ward, and I think he's going to do some really good things with Wan'Dale.
Yeah.
But in that range, though, I did like Jared Goff as well, but we already had a pretty solid quarterback on the board with Mahomes. I do think if we can look at another one in the next round, though, if we've got a guy like Jordan Love still there, and I doubt he will be, I'd like him. I think he's got a lot of upside. He's going to have a few 30-ish, 40-point games this year.
I like Jordan Love too. I think he's going to take a step forward, namely because I think Josh Jacobs probably takes a step back. I mean, he's not getting any younger either. I also like it just feels like he needs to regress to the mean a bit. Jordan Love shows a lot when he shows it, but he hardly ever shows it. Maybe that's just systemic with LaFleur. Or they're trying to
I don't like LaFleur at all. But
like how Josh Allen is like sneakily hid. It's almost like he's deployed to take over games just when he has to. But other than that, they're keeping him under wraps and managing how many times he's putting the ball in the air overall. Because he still does have a tendency to turn it over, I think.
By doing just enough to win a game.
By trying to win a game, even when he doesn't have to like fully try and win it yet. Quarterbacks
that'll realistically fall to us then.
Oh, well, we have a natural one with Tyler Shough because we took one of his receivers. Oh, Tyson, that's right. And we have Cam Ward coming up. Probably
if Cam Ward's on the board, I would like Cam Ward. But if not, I am a big fan of some Baker Mayfield. Oh, I think he got taken.
Mayfield's gone. Malik
Yeah, he
Willis is
just got
down here too, who I
he
know
was
you like.
just there. They just took him. These
Yeah,
dudes, man, they got me. They got my number.
they're listening to us, so they stole your pick.
Do you think they're on the stream right now? That'd be crazy.
No, no one is watching this at least for like a
No,
few
not at all.
months. Not for a
Not at
little
all.
while.
I mean,
We'll
unless
start
we
getting
just
some
hit
shorts out
nasty on
there.
it.
You gotta get the shorts out there first. So once we hit 1,000 of those, then there's some algorithmic magic which will push our content more. And then we also need to record consistently and upload consistently. Then the last piece there is like the proactive side, and that's where the social media accounts come in, and then also streaming to other platforms like Twitch and stuff.
Yeah.
So we just need to take the time to do that. We'll start getting an audience. These things tend to stay smaller, but that's the point is just to have fun and draft a few teams and try and win $3 million. So
Hitting big on the stream would be nice, but hitting big on the drafts would be better.
yeah. Yep.
Well, actually, I don't know.
Tyler Shub might fall to us. He's natural stack with Tyson. I really like Pittman hanging around here. He just went. We got Kelsey, KC Concepcion.
You probably need a pass catcher. Oh, Fergo.
Where's Fergo? Do you think we can get him on the way back?
Do you think we can get him on the way back?
Yeah, but I'll start him just in case because we'll just take him.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So now we're at 2 tight ends, which I think is solid for right now. Probably don't need another one. We had Mahomes. We should have gone Kelsey probably.
Well, yeah, maybe. But I'm okay with going Fergo because I think he'll be the highest producing tight end with Kelsey producing enough at quarterback for us to offset needing the stack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Kelsey will
just the playoff. The other thing
I think Mahomes spreads the ball around a little bit more consistently than Dak does. I think Dak does have a tendency to target Ferguson when he needs a bailout.
Well, Mahomes spreads the ball around, but it's all to Rashee Rice.
But it's not to Travis Kelce is my point. And I know we don't have exactly. But Ferguson is such enough
we
of
do have Kelce if we would just want to go with this monster tight end room. If not, a second quarterback's probably a good idea between Willis, Darnold, and then there's some good running backs I like still.
Well, just given the fact that Mahomes is getting a little older, I would like Sam Darnold or Malik Willis. Either is fine, but I think Darnold's got
Willis. I have much less Willis, and I want the rushing upside. We started talking about this at the beginning about like round 1 pitfalls. Jackson Smith and Jigba at pick number 5. This is not an original take. I've heard this before, but I believe it's correct in that he just had the triple crown season, right? Like, or maybe not most touchdowns. I think Adams might have scored more touchdowns. But either way, he won at least most receiving yards, and I just can't see that level of production just persisting next year. He may be playing on another level. He's just outplaying coverages and defense. But they just lost their offensive coordinator. It's trusting Darnold 2 years in a row, which is fine. This is now his third year.
He had a great season in Minnesota, though.
Yeah.
It's not like trusting him 2 years in a row is unheard of.
0.9 of a great season, like 90%, because I didn't like the playoff performance, like in particular.
Well, did you like his playoff performance in Seattle?
Hell yeah, right. So now we can trust him,
it
right?
seems like you rectified the issue that you had with him. So now
they also could lean into a little more than what he had access to in Minnesota offensively.
Right.
This was just a good ass team, man. This last year, they were.
I mean, they lost Kenneth Walker and went and got the younger version of him. Like,
yeah, no, I cleared $8,000 on the Super Bowl day because of these Seahawks. Like they were the easiest. Just
fan of everything Seattle does, from the uniforms to the fans to like the chants they do in the stadium. Like, I love everything about the Seahawks.
Yeah,
it's at times I wish I was a Seahawks fan, but I couldn't do that to the Cowboys. I'm locked in too hard.
Yeah, same here for obvious reasons. Well, maybe not so obvious because Witten betrayed us.
That was wild. He's named Witten and he's a Chiefs fan, but he picked his teams the way his dad picked his teams. I'll say that.
Man, I can't wait for Bruce to get on here. This is going to be great. All right. Trying to get ahead of these. Just talk the team structure through. It's a 2-3-4-2. Overall, the kind of receivers we have, there's thinning out pretty fast. I like Jaden Higgins a lot. Omar Cooper Jr. I don't like a lot because of the situation. He's also a rookie. It's just harder to get established at first, and his competition will still be there with Garrett Wilson.
Is anybody like Flournoy still on the board?
Oh
Because
yeah,
like
dude,
right
Flanoy
now,
won't go till way later, but it's
okay,
someone who's in a comparable situation, someone like Jalen McMillan. You got Mike
right.
Evans leaving. He had some serious spikes
So
last
I
year.
like that. Basically what I'm getting at is
I
I need
like
a
Higgins
receiver
better
who's
for
going
the
to have
record,
3
though.
or 4 games a year where they take over as wide receiver 2 for sure, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's so.
It's just going to happen.
I think
Yeah.
Higgins and McMillan are both that bet. But I think the upside lies with probably McMillan between those two.
Okay. I mean, you're not big on the Houston offense, and I'm okay with
No, I
buying
think
into the
no, I
Houston
am,
offense.
and we already did buy into Houston, right? We got Montgomery sitting here.
Yeah,
We think they're
but
going to
you're
be in a
not
scoring
big on the
position a lot.
quarterback in Houston, which is a problem when you're trying to take a pass catcher in Houston.
I got a bunch of CJ Stroud, but I don't know if we need another quarterback right now
No,
between
we don't
Mahomes.
need to take another
Yeah,
quarterback. I'm not
not for a
talking about
while at least.
drafting Stroud. I'm talking about your reservations with the Houston passing game.
Let me put
But
it
I
this way.
like
Let me put it this way. Higgins is 6'4" or something and over 200 pounds. I think he's a good goal line receiver, and they're going to be in the red zone a lot. I am
all
completely
right.
fine with either of these guys,
Well,
and I
it
have a
seems
lot of.
like we would be hedging our bet on the goal line too because
Let's go
we bought
Higgins.
in
Yep, yep,
Monty for the exact same reason. Yeah.
yeah. We got
Um,
Higgins.
so now we pretty much have Houston. Well, now we
Well,
kind of
outside
need
of Nico,
Schultz.
right? And then there's the Schultz out to the flat.
Now we
But
kind of
Schultz
need
has so many
Schultz too.
touchdowns.
If Schultz is still wandering around, we need to
Oh,
get a part of Schultz.
Schultz will be out there. He'll be like pick 180, but that's where like Flanoy goes, and then we also probably need to make up some running
So
backs here.
if we can get, oh yeah, we do have a lot of pass catchers.
Yeah,
Um,
I think we need to go running
I was
back,
gonna
but
say if we can get
they'll kind of
both,
suck.
uh, if we can get Houston's tight end and Flournoy out of Dallas, I'd be a huge fan of that because
Yeah,
it's just a lot of
We
production.
can try in a bit.
But you're
But
right. We do need a running back. Let's check those out. Algier will probably be fine. Pacheco is kind of interesting, but he's probably going to be shoved into that Monty role last year.
yeah,
What's going on with Kamara? Why is he still available?
Kamara might retire this year. People are saying like it's 60-40 edging toward retirement. They have some younger guys there in the room to replace him. 9 seconds left. I think Tajay Spears stands out to me and Keaton Mitchell in this range.
I guess it's just go with your heart.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Spears because I think that so Tennessee added this younger guy out of Penn State, Nick Singleton. He broke his foot before the combine, wasn't able to do a lot of the testing, and that's maybe why he didn't rise as much. Now, universally, this running back class outside of Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Prince or Price
Right.
is considered just pretty bad. Um, so like not starters this year the way that there was a bunch in previous years. So all these guys, Mike Washington Jr., Coleman, all these guys are like 5th-round picks or something. The guy, so the guy Nick Singleton, he split the backfield with this other dude, Katron Allen, who actually toward the end of this draft we'll take a look at because he's in a really good spot with the Commanders. They're similar athletes, though, like good, solid athletes. If given the ball 15 to 20 times, I think both would succeed and have like decent numbers. I don't think they're anything special, but Singleton might appear that way just on the surface because I didn't get a lot of the prospect information and I don't watch college football. So I might have missed a bunch about what I think his ceiling could be because of that broken foot specifically, which should be
Right.
more than healed. Because I think he already
Yeah.
did like private work. He did workouts for teams, I think, already. Like he's run on it. He just not going to play football yet.
Yeah, broken
So
foot, you can usually come
point
back
being,
from. I don't want to say fast or easy, but it's
all that to say, you got an aging Tony Pollard there, and then there's Tajay Spears, and then there's this rookie. And so I think Spears is going to be pretty involved. He's a
okay.
really good handcuff bet. Now between those two, I know you said follow your heart. My heart's with Keaton Mitchell. Do you know who Keaton Mitchell is? Have you heard of him?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So
Is
he's
he
a
about the
running. He was a
same
backup
offense?
running back for the Baltimore Ravens, and I've only seen him play truly healthy one game, but he averaged like 9 yards a carry or something. For
Why are
he
we
is
considering
incredible,
this
dude.
guy?
This dude
What,
can run, like he can move. He's awesome. He
like
just can't stay
Forrest
healthy.
Gump type running, or like
Not as a straight line persistency or tendencies toward just running in a straight line. Not prone to that. This guy can
okay,
move around. He's dynamic. He's a great athlete.
gotcha. He's more like a Seal Thierry from the comeback.
Singletary from the replacements or the other guy, or is it? Not
I
the
thought
other guy.
that wasn't that the comebacks.
No, the comebacks. Yeah, the replacements is an actual
Yeah,
parody movie instead of
yeah,
yeah,
it's a
it's a real fake movie
Falco.
as opposed to the comebacks, which is just a fake.
People
Real movie.
try to put the replacements in conversations like Remember the Titans and Friday Night Lights, and it's like, bro, stay out of this. The replacements is not. It's not on these
There
levels.
were some Cowboy seasons we could have used Shane Falco. Okay,
Yeah,
we
maybe
really
like
coulda
in the
used
Vinny
Shane Falco.
Testaverde and Quincy Carter years, but from Tony Romo on, we've been relatively spoiled as far as quarterback play goes, and I don't think we acknowledge that enough.
Yeah, agreed.
Like it's really nice to not have to worry about who your starting quarterback is next year. Like we know Four is going to be back, and when Tony was there, we knew he was going to be back and he was going to be fine. Like
yeah, we just have to worry about
everything else
here, like everything else consistently.
Everything else.
Draft capital,
Receivers having off the field issues,
not
and
having a spine when it comes to like playing with a team. Knowing Kyle Shanahan, Aaron Jones, take your pick of any NFC contender is just going to spank us in the playoffs, even before the game starts. You just know.
The thing is, they have to be able to run the ball for over 200 yards a game. That's the caveat, because if they can't do that, we can smack them.
No, then it's not that they have to rush over 200 yards. It's can they run the ball? Because we can't keep up for some reason. We just don't have a spine in the playoffs.
But you have to have shown that you can run against somebody else.
20 seconds on the clock. Man, it freaked me out. It jumped to 4 seconds and then
I thought we were screwed. Yeah. I was like, there's no way, dude. You're not gonna make this pick.
We might end up with 4 seconds anyways. All right. I like Ayuk the best here.
My heart says Kamara.
Fuck it. I don't have any other Kamaras. This is for $3 million. People are gonna let him slide.
Because if he comes back, we just got New Orleans RB1 with 6 touchdown potential.
6 touchdowns in like.
I don't think he's going to have 6 touchdowns, but 3 touchdowns is a feasible number if he does decide to come back and give it a real go. Like the pop is there if he's there.
We'll see.
And if he's not, then we wasted pick 160. We're fine.
We'll see. The thing that makes it hard is the ETN's there now, or A-Chain. He says his name is now pronounced.
Yeah, and you know what? I buy it. A-Chain. I see.
Also, their backups. Devin Neal is a solid running back.
Getting to it though, because these seem like they're going quick.
I like Ayuk. We also have Schultz coming up.
So Schultz, Judy, and Barner are all on my list of OKs. I like going and buying in on Schultz because we're really, really hedging the bets as far as the Houston goal line attack goes.
Okay. I certainly don't mind. We're running out of quarterback opportunity.
Well, Rodgers, there's no guarantee he's going to sign.
I'm treating it like he is. I'm going to start up Schultz just in case.
Yeah.
Okay. I do think another quarterback's not a bad idea with 20 rounds to play with. So we have like 2 extra rounds compared to Underdog.
We can go really high upside. Is there a rookie that you like? Perhaps maybe.
No, I don't like any rookie quarterbacks, though. Carson Beck's going to end up playing this year because he has to.
I think Carson Beck might have a surprisingly decent year for a rookie quarterback, being teamed up with Jeremiah Love and Marvin Harrison, who people shit hard on Marvin Harrison, and I get it, but playing with Kyler Murray can't be the most motivating thing in life. So I don't think that we've seen what Marvin Harrison can actually do.
I agree. I thought there was enough offensive production from McBride and Wilson to suggest Harrison at least isn't as good as everybody was buying him to be. But
as advertised, right. Do you like Riley?
Oh, the other part is Drew Petsy Petzing. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's now the offensive coordinator for the Lions, but he was with the Cardinals prior to this year, and he is noted for driving everything through the tight end, and that makes sense. Like McBride's last season makes a lot more sense, where that's exactly what we saw. That and Michael Wilson taking a step forward as the number one receiver. Um, I got more thoughts on Michael Wilson. He's like I don't have a brand, but he's a brand guy for me. I really like him, but I'm not taking him this year at all. So all that to say, I like the quarterbacks. I like whoever can play
You
quarterback.
like the
I think they're
situation
setting a
for
good
the
gap.
quarterback.
And I
Yeah.
think that there will be some regression to the receivers because they just lost the guy who hyper targets the tight end. But McBride is still probably the best receiving option on this team. Jeremiah
Probably.
Love's going to get his own touches. And honestly, but this is a rookie and
I
not
think
even a good
that's our
rookie.
actual only option in this range, though, because it looks like we're playing with backup, potential backup.
Well, we can wait. We can wait for him, right? This is like pick 220. We're at pick 190. The other options here, I think, is Shador already gone? Yeah. So 2 is a starter for at least some of the season. Everyone else is a backup. There's always the Mahomes handcuff we can do with Justin Fields.
What's going on with Kirko Chains? Is he going to be the starter up in Vegas or what?
I think he's going to start the first like 4 to 8 games
because they just paid him a ton of money.
I think he's going to start 4 to 8 games. I think Brady was developed, like he sat on the bench for a little while.
So you think they paid Kirk Cousins to take a Drew Bledsoe type injury?
Yeah, and just be the mentor and be cool with getting benched when the time comes. Kirk Cousins already said in an interview that he's there or rather, he doesn't mind whoever starts a quarterback. He wants what's best for the team. And there's nobody saying that unless they're already been told exactly how it's going to go down. Like, if you get benched, you get benched. Sorry, here's a bunch of money. You're not going to be able to get a check anywhere else at this point.
He could also just be disgustingly aware of what the situation is. This kid is the number 1 overall pick. And he's paid pretty handsomely to go be a mentor. But I doubt Kirk Cousins is just going to lay down and hand over the job of starting quarterback.
I think he'll compete. I don't think it's going to – I don't think – I think he'll be put to pasture this season, so I want to say it. There's 20 seconds left. We're on the clock. I like Tank Dell the best here. Butte's good. Kirk's good.
Buying a ton of Houston if we go Tank Dell, though.
Boy Flanoy's down here. We can probably get 196, though.
Yeah, but if we're going to be looking at late quarterbacks, we should probably go receiver now.
Yep.
So I like Flournoy a little better because I think there's going to be at least 3 to 4 weeks where he serves, if not more, as Dallas's legitimate wide receiver too.
Yeah, and that's before Pickens gets frustrated and like stomps off the field or something.
So that's why I'm saying if not more, because we really don't know what's happening with the George Pickens situation. I know Jerry
signed
loves
his franchise tag day the first day it was offered. You can't be that upset, you know.
Is that report confirmed? Because I'm seeing conflicting reports. Like I'm seeing that he didn't sign his tender before the draft. I'm seeing that he did. Then I'm
we're
seeing
about to be on the clock again real quick. We can probably wait on one of these quarterbacks to like 213, see who's left.
If you think we can get Carson Beck at next pick, then we can wait. But if he's not going to be there,
let's push that because we have 2 solid starters, and if we get stranded there, it's not the end of the world.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like
we can round out receiver. I love Tank Bigsby here.
Yeah,
I love Tank Bigsby here. I think Saquon could either get hurt or I think Tank will take over some volume. Other players I like here are Mitchell, Antonio Williams, and Wicks. Do you have any preferences?
No, not really. I think we're good with who got started. We'll be all right.
Okay. Yeah, I like that because that should close us out at running back with 6 of them overall. And then receiver, we can just use these last like few rounds to beef up there and then try and get our 3rd quarterback.
I do, and I don't. I know. I need to rephrase this. I understand the reservations behind everybody's like on Carson Beck. I get it.
Yeah.
But realistically speaking, he probably is the most pro-ready quarterback in the draft, going into the best situation possible.
Not better than Mendoza.
I'm not a big believer in Mendoza, if I'm being wholeheartedly honest. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, okay, fine. But I'm talking as far as like legitimate just experience goes. He's just played longer in college football for a
Yeah.
lot of big market schools, like, or for at least for two really big market schools.
Do you know what the
And
coaching staff, this is from, Coach Speak Index, I think, they, like, watch all the press conferences and then give you, like, the clips and stuff. So the coaches the coaches were asked, "Hey, what do you like about Carson Beck?" And the coach and the GM, I think, and then both basically replied with, "Oh, he's got a lot of experience. He's played a lot. He's played big games, stuff like that." And then so one of the reporters, what they're trying to get is like, what do you like about the player specifically? To like, what does he contribute from his body or like his athletic
oh
something, right?
god
And they
damn.
kept giving these general answers about he's played a
Because
lot
that's the
or
right
he's
way to
huge.
do it. What do you want them to do? Talk about how he drives the ball down the field better than
Just
everybody
something about how
else?
he's like a really
You
good fit
you
for this
want him to
team. I
talk
think they
about Jerry Jones
specifically
talking about his backup quarterback
I
throwing
think
the
what they're
prettiest
I think
ball
what
he's
they
ever
wanted to
seen,
ask
like,
him was basically, "Do you think he's good?" And then what we got like, what I got out of those clips was he's experienced for and that's just saying he's played longer than other rookies that are available this year, but that's not the same thing as saying he's good, you know?
I I don't know what other words you want to be said. I mean, it's not like he could have been playing in those games if he was out there just straight up losing games for his college, you know what I mean?
So we're on the clock. We can get your guy back here or we can wait and then,
I
at
think we
the
might be
15th
able to
turn.
get him on the turn based on his
Okay.
ADP, but
So
he
that
also
puts us
might
to
be gone.
receiver, and from the receivers, I think Wicks, Torrey Horton, are the strongest options. You got Malachi Fields in there. I know you like him.
I like Malachi a lot. Pick him.
I got it in. Okay. So that's really bowled over, Wicks, who I think is gonna
We're
be
going
Philly's
pop.
3rd
We're going
receiver,
pop.
2nd, 3rd
We're
receiver.
going pop. We're going
Going
pop.
Pop.
We're going pop. We're
Oh,
we're at
dad
pick
pick.
200, man. We got to go pop. Like this is
Oh,
make or
like
break.
highest
Like
ceiling, like top end.
we have enough sustained production with our first few rounds in the draft that these picks need to be who's going to get 40 points for 2 games.
And you think Malachi Fields can do that with the team
Yes.
with Malik Neighbors and
100%. I'm a firm believer in Malachi Fields. The problem is the Giants suck.
okay.
They made a lot of
Yeah.
good moves though, and bringing him in is one of the really good moves that I actually really like about what the Giants did this offseason. But I'm going upside, and I do believe that his upside is going to be a little bit better than everybody else's. I think when he has a pop, it'll pop harder than other people.
All right. So we got one more pick here. Let's see if Carson Beck's still out there. Yeah, he's still here if you want him.
It's again going upside. If you think that there's another player with more upside than a QB3, then run him. But we're
Okay.
getting QB1 in Arizona versus wide receiver 2s, 3s, and 4s.
Only
You know,
because we have 7 receivers already, and one of them's Jamar Chase. I
six
think that
running
takes
backs,
away a spot. So yeah,
six
I did
running
just
backs, and 3 tight ends.
yeah, I
Yeah,
did
we should probably go quarterback. So
yeah.
Carson Beck, I do believe, gives us the best value at this point because somebody like Shador isn't available.
Yeah,
Um,
there's no starter at this point, that's for sure, except for potentially Kirk Cousins, and then
Well, and
Penix,
that's why
if
I'm
he gets
thinking
back
Carson
healthy.
Beck is probably gonna be the starter out in Arizona. So
Okay.
I I think we're gonna end up with a situation where we at least have QB1 as our QB3, as opposed to some of these other teams are probably gonna have to resort to just 2 quarterback setup or having a backup who's a handcuff to an injury-prone starter.
Okay.
Um, so I like our ability to be able to consistently put out high numbers every week
Man, you
versus
know Dart's gonna have at least, like, 2 concussions this year, right?
right,
So
but that's what I
Winston
mean.
how
But
about some Winston?
we'd be betting on Jameis Winston playing several games versus Carson Beck is more than likely going to get a full season.
You know, there's some rumors about Will Howard, like, superseding Aaron Rodgers this year.
He's not gonna if Aaron Rodgers comes back, the quarterback will be Aaron Rodgers. Will Howard is not gonna start over Aaron Rodgers.
I know of it. I've seen, like, stupid you know who it is? It's those damn players in their media teams. because I don't know how much shit I saw about Shador being like the best thing ever last year, and it was all throughout the whole process of him getting snubbed everywhere. Like, and then all the bad stories coming from reporters and stuff like that. And then here is like all my Instagram posts saying like how he was just the greatest quarterback of all time or and crap like that. And he's a pro bowler and all this stuff.
I was slightly confused as to why he was being discussed in tandem with Cam Ward, because I saw a very clear difference in Cam Ward's ability and Shador Sanders' ability.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
but
gonna try and get a send up for another draft here.
I was and am a firm believer in Shador Sanders to put together a really solid NFL career. I don't think he'll play to the level of his father, obviously, because Dion is widely regarded as the best cornerback of all time, depending on who you talk to. But Shador does have the capability of putting together a lot of playoff runs in his time. I don't know about Super Bowl runs just because he plays for the Browns, but I do see playoff appearances in his future. Especially if the Browns just don't be stupid. They're building something nice up right now. Got Jerry Jeudy and Judkins, really solid offensive line.
And the defense doesn't seem to go anywhere. They always just seem like they're solid there. That's probably Stefanski, right? And he just left to Atlanta. So we're coming up on our last pick. I think receiver makes the most sense. Where I think we're stocked everywhere else. There's not really that great running backs.
Available?
No, that's Luke McCaffrey.
Luke McCaffrey. Okay, the screen's super blurry, and I was like,
Yeah,
how
sorry.
did he fall to 230?
This Chris Bell guy is going to inherit nobody there is Jalen Tolbert's his biggest competition. The only thing is he got hurt. This is a guy who people consider elite talent at the wide receiver, but he just got hurt, and he's entering the season with an injury, so won't be there till the end. Horton, I think, will be the Seahawks wide receiver number 2 if he's healthy this year. He already had 6 touchdowns as a rookie last year, and he got hurt like week 7 or something. He can really, really spike for us.
I mean, I'll take wide receiver 2 out of Seattle. That sounds nice.
Yeah, let's do it. I like Shaheed a lot. I just think Shaheed's more of a special teamer role player.
He's upside though. You know what I mean? Like he's kick return for a touchdown upside.
Yeah, and or just legit, like I could see Shaheed catching 6 passes for 130 yards, 140 yards, and 2 touchdowns in a game. I don't think he's going to get 30 targets because JSN's there. I think he could absolutely.
I was like, man, they've got some actual competition out in Seattle for receiver.
But Horton, though, so many times, like when you watch their games last year,
DK still out there, or did he sign somewhere else this year?
Who?
DK?
Oh, Metcalf's been in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, that's right. He got traded last year. My bad.
Which is why JSN finally got enabled to.
Well, JSN was going to take over as wide receiver 1 that year anyway, and I think that's why they were okay with moving DK out of.
They saw ahead of the curve there for sure.
You know what, the coach out there, that guy's nice.
Yeah, Mike McDonald's.
Mike McDonald's. Yeah,
which confuses me because there's the other Mike McDonald, right? Like,
right? Yeah. I was like, that doesn't sound right. That's not the right guy.
He's now the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. So everybody's riding the Chargers jock this year, and I think that's a pretty good jock to ride. So I'm into.
Everybody every year buys into the Chargers. How many more times are y'all gonna get fooled?
This year for sure, at least.
This is the last one.
This year at least.
This is the last one.
Okay, so I like where everybody's going price wise. I like that Herbert is like picks 80. I think he's good enough for that. He goes around Mahomes, around.
Yeah, their statistical success will be fine. They're gonna make the playoffs. Blah 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 blah.
And then in terms of just fantasy, right? In terms of just fantasy, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so we talked about this.
I like Herbo a lot. I like the quarterback. I like the receivers.
We talked about this last time too, like the specific formats that we're playing, this DraftKings and Underdog. We're going to be spending most of our summer drafting that when we draft on these 2 sites, but they're playoff style contests. As long as we're going to do like the marathon, I think is the Underdog one that remember when we did drafters together, the scoring format was just total points. So we just wanted best players no matter what. Well, now we're in these tournaments have the playoffs to factor in. So weeks 14, 15, 16, and 17, or sorry, 15, 16, 17 are all playoffs, and it's survive or go home pretty much for a lot of these tournaments. So you need the spike. And in a one game sample size, I think Herbert can score as many or more points as Josh Allen, as Jalen Hurts, as anyone on that board. I think he's likely to do that, pretty regularly.
Okay.
Who's the other thing? So all the receivers are good price. McConkey, and I think the third round is kind of a reach there. But he can certainly spike. Same logic applies. If it's all about week 17, $3 million up top, I think he can be our guy for 1 week. Quentin Johnston, I wrote him off completely last year. That dude can play. He can play.
He's nice.
The tight end, Gadsden, is very athletic. We saw some flashes last year. It's just everyone else. Keenan Allen was there. There's a lot of competition. And then their running back room is also pretty incredible. I think Hampton is a more than adequate starter to even say he's good. I think he's good. Keaton Mitchell, we went on about him earlier. He's there now as their third running back. And then they had Kamani Vidal, who nobody knew how good that guy was going to be last year. And he established himself when the time came. When he's called upon, he delivered. So I really like all of the weapons on the Chargers. Their offensive line. The thing about last year, too, they lost both their starting left tackles in like 2 weeks or something. And both of them are future Hall of Famer qualities, right? Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, I think, is the other one.
And Joe Alt is nice.
Yeah, like these are monsters, and they both got hurt. One in the preseason, and one by like week 1 or something. And I was like, oh no, because I had all these Herbert bags. Just lit 300 teams on fire that had some combination of Herbo, McConkey, and then their tight ends were going late last year, so I was scooping them up like Disley. And then I can't remember the other guys, but dudes that would catch 4 to 5 touchdowns, and you need your third tight end. Like
put together some real production for you, yeah. All right. Since we're off the draft, I figured unless we were going to go recap.
Oh yeah, we should absolutely recap this team.
I hit the wrong one. This one.
Oh, good. Okay. So quarterback is going to be Mahomes. We have 2 others on this team, Malik Willis and then Carson Beck. So really good rushing upside, I think, at all 3 levels. Mahomes, of course, being Mahomes at 300 points or so, guaranteed.
As long as he plays postseason. Didn't he take an injury late though?
ACL tear.
ACL
tear.
So I don't think, and given the type of style that he plays as a quarterback, I think he'll be able to adjust pretty well to coming back from that. But I do like that we got in 2 starter caliber quarterbacks as backups, though, just to be able to take up some of the production if he's not able to give full production right away, or even if he has to miss some time at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I think he's Mahomes. I think he's the greatest to ever do it. But that's just me.
What? The greatest to ever do it?
Yeah, I think when I watch Mahomes play, he plays at a speed and with such
the greatest to ever do it.
What are you talking about?
I think when I watch Sir Patrick Mahomes play football,
20 years of Tom Brady, and you want to talk to me about some Patty Mahomes is the
I've seen Mahomes make throws Brady can't make, and I don't think I've seen
what happened when they played each other in the Super Bowl.
I can't. Well, the Tampa Bay defense had something to do with
old Tom Brady wiped them.
If you're asking me who played the better game, I saw Mahomes do. That was the greatest game I think I've seen Mahomes play. Was that game?
Yeah,
and he lost. Lose by more,
and he lost by a lot.
That's not his fault. I don't fault him for that game at all. I saw him make heroic play after heroic play after heroic play just to lose by as much as they did.
The problem
He
is
outplayed Brady that Super Bowl for sure.
When Mahomes leads another decade of the greatness, then I'll go ahead and have this conversation with you again in 10 years. But if he doesn't have 10 more years of
Brady was that dominant for like most of the 2010s.
What are you talking about? Tom Brady had 2 different decades of domination. He won
not
3
for
Super
most
Bowls.
of the 2010s because they weren't even
he
good.
Won 3 Super Bowls in the
like
2010s. Okay, he won 2 in the 2010s and 1 in the 2020s. He won Super Bowls in 3 different decades.
I'm not.
And you want to talk to me about some Patrick Mahomes who had a 5-year run?
What I'm saying is when I watch them on film with my eyeballs, regardless of the trophies that the team.
Now you want to go with the eyeball test? No.
Hey,
you don't even know how to perform the eye test.
Come on, you
don't even know how to perform the eye test, Mr. Stat Watcher. And by the way, the eye test, Tom Brady is still the greatest to ever do it. It's not even close. It's not even. I believe there are more talented quarterbacks, but they are not named Patrick Mahomes.
Speaking of which, do you want to jump into an underdog draft, or do you want to look at those props you were talking about earlier?
Give me a little both. Between the two things, I would probably rather do another draft just because that's going to be probably the majority of our content.
Let's get some drafts in.
But I do like going over props. But the thing is, like so many other sites are prop this, prop that. If we just draft for people and give them good strategies and good stuff, I think we'll be able to set apart a little bit.
So underdog, $2 million up top, $1 million for second place, and $500K for third. Massive contest here. 670,000 entrants. And it's going to go all summer long. Get 150 entries. This is that playoff format, and underdog is a half-point PPR. Last thing about this, it's kind of tricky, especially for streaming, is each pick's only 20 seconds. So we'll be a little more focused on this draft, this run through. And then let's go ahead and finish this quick recap. We're still waiting on a few more people to fill out the Best Ball Mania contest we just entered. So yeah, finishing out the team from DraftKings. I'll just read through and then you give me the highlights go after. So running backs, we got Quinshon Judkins, Amari Hampton, David Montgomery went 3 early on. Took some risk late. Alvin Kamara, Tajay Spears, some I consider handcuffs this year for both of those guys, and Tank Bixby. Quality handcuffs, but to me, handcuffs nonetheless. Receiver, pretty stacked room here. Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, clear-cut number ones on their team. All the ceiling in the world, especially Devontae Smith. We both like to take a huge step forward this year. Tyson, the very interesting rookie out of Arizona State. String of injuries the last few years, but is a baller when he gets going. Wan'Dale Robinson, we think he's got 100 catches. And then Higgins, big outside target for the Texans. Ryan Flanoy, Goo thinks he's going to have 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns this year. And I'm not exaggerating that much.
I'm buying hard. I'm buying hard on Ryan Flanoy. And if he doesn't,
I did too.
You buy him with me because of me, you can hold me personally.
I was already like 20% pre-draft best ball stuff. I think it was like 30% on certain sites. He's just such a smash late.
But the spikes are coming.
The spikes are coming, and it's gonna be 3 or 4.
Look, this rank 206, man. That tells me all I need to know. That's a good number for me, and
that's awesome. Yeah,
it's
I buy
a solid number for me in my entire life. I think 206 is good. I think
generational wealth opportunity with Ryan Flanoy. We'll take if he gets listed
on the back of Ryan Flanoy. On the back of Ryan Flanoy. Somehow, some way, he's going to work out to be Dallas's wide receiver 1 for about 4 weeks this season. For about 4 weeks this year, he'll have to play the role of Dallas wide receiver 1.
CD will have it'll happen by when CD has like a couple early drops
or concussion. No, then we're not benching CD Lemon.
No, not benching. But Dak has a tendency if a guy's cold, he's just
to just lean on. He does do that. But I don't think he does that as like a "I'm done with you" type thing. I think he does it more of like a gather yourself, get back into the flow, get some good blocks, get some good easy catches, and you'll get back to where you were.
It's not Andy throwing away Woody and saying you're broken. I don't want to play with you anymore.
I think Dak, and this is obviously just from a fan perspective, he does a really fantastic job of being able to just keep players mentally checked in. At least on the offense. Defense has their leaders and their captains, but I haven't seen the Cowboy offense be disinterested in a game in his entire career. And stories that I've heard from guys like Jason Witten just kind of enforce that, especially guys like Jason Witten, talking about the moments they chose to buy into Dak, and they're special times. I mean, it's not Joe Montana pointing out John Candy for a Super Bowl game-winning drive, but it is solid moments of leadership that let me know that at least at that position, they've got the right things in place.
Yeah, Dak's awesome. Our new draft's going to start half-point PPR here, by the way, and we only get 18 rounds, so we're not going to be able to go like 3, 6, 8, 3 like we did the last one. You do have to pick. Jameer Gibbs here, right? Pick number 2.
Yeah, we'll pick
half-point
2.
PPR. Yeah, pick 2.
Oh, half-point PPR? Yeah, go running back.
Okay.
Is he the best guy you like?
Easy there over Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey. Easy. No Montgomery. Just smash.
I assume Brian Robinson's already been drafted.
Who?
Brian Robinson, he got drafted.
Brian Robinson.
Yeah, out of Atlanta,
170 picks later. To finally finish this DraftKings team out, tight end George Kittle, Jake Ferguson, and Dalton Schultz. So like all the ceiling in the world with all the floor at all 3 of these, especially for Schultz, all the floor.
I agree. And Ferguson and Kittle, actually.
Yeah, like we're set.
I think we got tight end pretty solid.
So running back, I feel is a little shaky, but can really work out with the early season investments and dudes that other teams are going to have given up on. We'll get lots of value over the summer, I think, on those. They might fall a little further. Good all in all to me. Okay. What were we talking about before? Flournoy.
So 3 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends.
Yes. Okay. So team structure on Underdog tends to funnel you into
receivers. Wait,
something like a 3-5-7-3.
Who the hell is Torrey Morton? Oh yeah, you talked to me about him. He's going to be that dude out of Seattle.
All right. I wonder if I can double click on his stats just to show you what we were dealing with early in the season before he got hurt.
All right.
Here's
the thing with receivers. What I look for is targets.
Yeah.
And a wide receiver 2 will command anywhere between 6 to 10 targets a game, depending on the offensive scheme.
Depending on the offense. Yeah, that's pretty extreme.
But it's depending on the offensive scheme, and I'm going by just the offenses that have solidified wide receiver 2s as an actual wide receiver.
This is an offense with JSN, right? So that there's your 10 target, because the Seahawks don't need to throw 40 times a game. They end up throwing like 20 to 30 or something.
Well,
like that.
Not with Kenny Walker in the lineup, and I guess Jadarian Price will give him that
the
ability.
Defense is probably not going anywhere next year. The offense might fall off a little bit, but I think they're going to be just as good.
I guess it depends on what you think about Jadarian Price, because it's not like the offensive line took any major hits.
I think he's going to be like young Kenneth Walker.
So I have that projection for him as well. Yeah. Straight up, just
with less pass catching, but he doesn't have a big play sample.
Jadarian Price is a great pass catcher. He'll be all right. When you're playing behind Jeremiah Love, you don't really get a chance to show everything that you've got. And I think Price is going to have an opportunity in Seattle with a really, really good team around him. Yeah. And I think, and this is just kind of speculation, a bit of a hot take, I think Jadarian Price will outplay Jeremiah Love this season.
What do you mean a bit of a hot take? That's like
you don't think Jeremiah Love
fire?
You don't think Jeremiah Love going to go out and have like 1,200 yards on the ground and like 400?
We're on the clock here. Good. Do you want Jeremiah Love, George Pickens, Brock Bowers, Collins? 5 seconds.
Stay away from Pickens until we know what's up. I like Love, but
right.
Yeah.
Start him up. I think we got him. We're going to be on the quick turnaround, so let's get this next pick settled in, and then we can talk to your insane.
Can you move the screen where we're watching that instead?
Oh, dude. Yeah. We're just watching the DraftKings.
Yeah. I was like, hang on. We got to – all right. Wait, go back. I thought you had it.
Yeah, one second there. 1 second there.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So we got Pickens, Collins, now just Pickens, Josh Jacobs, AJ Brown. I like all 3. Devonta Smith, I like all 4.
I like Smitty the best to be the most consistent. Look, I'm a huge fan of Pickens, but until I know for sure that he's going to be suiting up from week 1, I don't want any part of him.
I also
Especially if
think
you have someone like Devontae Smith. Like,
I know you don't feel the same way about Lamb, but I think both of these guys are actually overpriced. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
dude, if I had 1-1, I would take CeeDee Lamb.
They're not. If you had the 101, you would take CD over Bajan, Gibbs, Chase, Puka.
Well, I guess not in a half PPR. In a full PPR,
and both,
yeah. In a half PPR, I would go receiver over running back any day.
That's crazy.
Especially receiver who's probably going to be the target, but like a quarterback who's going to throw for like 4,600 to 4,900 yards. Like, come on, man.
I just think that's insane. I think CD is going to have a lot of competition this year, and he's not the most consistent superstar. Like he's just not.
I think 2 out of the last 3 seasons, he's been the highest fantasy producer, if not like among the highest fantasy producers, if not the highest fantasy producer. 2 seasons ago, I know for a fact that he was the highest fantasy producer. So and that's like above quarterbacks. Like that's crazy.
He didn't have George Pickens on the same team.
Yeah, but he still had a crazy season last year. It's not like he took that big of a step back. And in fact, teams probably paid him a lot less attention because there were times that Dak looked like he liked throwing to Pickens better than he liked throwing to CeeDee. And then when teams started focusing on Pickens, he went right back to.
Well, that's what I mean is I think there's more of an ebb and flow. Whereas someone like Jamar Chase, T. Higgins can have an elite game, but it often doesn't come at the cost of Jamar Chase as well. Whereas I feel like with the Cowboys receivers, it is more like
I don't think Dak plays like that. I think
whoever's playing, because Dak spreads it around to even other players.
But I think whoever's on gets the ball is my thing. And CeeDee Lamb, the weeks that he doesn't get the ball is because he's not on that week.
Okay. That's fair. I just don't think I'll say this. I think he's a lot less on. I think he's less frequently on than Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Jamar Chase.
Want anybody out of Atlanta's offense.
Or Justin Jefferson, for that matter. Amon-Ra.
I don't like Justin Jefferson. I don't want to touch Justin Jefferson.
Jonathan Taylor. The only one in the first round I wouldn't take above Lamb is not wouldn't because I have done this. But McCaffrey, I don't know what to make of McCaffrey this year. I don't want to pay pick 7 in this format. I will because it's a half PPR.
Oh,
he catches a lot of passes.
Wait, you're breaking up a little.
Can you hear me?
Who is this you're talking about? You're fading in and out.
McCaffrey.
Oh, I don't know. If he plays all 17, I like him more than I like a lot of other guys. But
I'd rather take Lamb above McCaffrey just because of the questions with McCaffrey. But he's about it.
The big questions with McCaffrey too. You talk about an aging running back. He's
on the
not
clock here again. We got 10 seconds. Waddle, DJ Moore, McLaurin, Colson Loveland.
Oh, I like Waddle out in Denver. I like McLaurin in Washington, and I love DJ Moore in Buffalo. So
we haven't done a Waddle team yet, I don't think. So let's grab a Waddle, and then if you like McLaurin and DJ Moore, I love both these guys. We can get either of them coming up.
Yeah.
Which one do you?
I like Devontae too, but I feel like he's going to take a step back in production.
Half point PPR he's a solid option because all those touchdowns. But I do think McLaurin's going to get the most targets between these 3 guys.
Yeah.
I think DJ Moore will have the most spun up stuff for him. Probably the best mix of both in terms of yards and touchdowns. And the best offensive
thing Buffalo's had to a wide receiver 1 since having Diggs out there.
Want to go more?
But McLaurin rather, is the guaranteed.
I should have been more on top of the clock. I got us DJ Moore.
That's fine. I wasn't 100% sure between the two. So if we can swing back and get McLaurin, that'd be great. But
it's close, right? Like we saw McLaurin go.
I like Judkins at this range though too.
Who?
What's our running back situation like?
Pretty good so far. I think we're 2-2 so far. Gibbs and Jeremiah Love.
Right? Do you like Judkins enough to take him over McLaurin right now?
No. I've got questions with
Oh, the
Judkins.
choice was made for us.
I have yeah. Well, I've got questions with
Well, how
Judkins
about
on
how about
we're not up for 20 more picks, so
okay? Oh, we go back to back.
yeah. We're pick number 2, so we're on the other end of the whip. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, all these dudes are going to be gone. We might end up having to take quarterback just to get value.
So Judkins, for the situation, I don't like him. I think there's other better starting running backs, even though he's going to get a good portion of the carries, like the lion's share, like 60 to 80% of the carries. Dylan Sampson is also more of a traditional running back behind him, and he showed some flashes last year. And then I can't remember their third string running back is, but not a serious threat. Now, because they're on the Browns, how many plays are we talking about? Probably less than other teams overall. How many times is there going to be in the red zone? Probably less than other teams overall. They just lost their defensive-minded head coach. They might not get that many more opportunities the same way they did last year because they were able to stop teams a lot and force turnovers and things like that. So I don't like the situation for Judkins. Around the price where he's going, where I can take that bet or the Bashal Tootin bet, or Cam Scatabo, then he becomes a lot more interesting because of the more guaranteed volume. Those other situations, like I like the players, I think. I like the talent, all three of those guys, but it's just hard to say. It's really hard to say. But I know you talked about how much you like Judkins last time, so he's good. All things considered, though, 5 rounds through a half PPR, I think I like the receiving room we have because receivers tend to thin out in ceiling later on, and we have ceiling here with high floors. While our running back room is absolutely elite so far.
Yeah,
I don't mind adding like a Ramondre or a Jalen or even like a Quorum or something later. 15 seconds here, by the way, Goo. We got Hurts. We can stack with Devonta.
Caleb Williams will probably be the highest upside at this. Like,
you guys want to go Caleb? I'm good with Caleb.
Yeah,
sure.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely at this point. I like Jalen Hurts a lot. Don't get me wrong, and stacking him with Smitty would probably be really, really nice. But I believe the quarterback for quarterback, the end of the season numbers will probably look a little better for Caleb Williams as far as offensive production goes.
I agree 100%. I think as far as that week 17 thing goes, Hurts could outscore him. But either way, so you want to go Ramondre here, Sutton, Dak.
Dak will give us nice numbers.
I just clicked Dak because we were kind of running out of time.
If we're out of time, we're out of time.
Okay.
But yeah, that's cool.
So
in that range, it's because look, I like Tyler Warren, but I don't think that we're going to get better production out of these pass catchers and these runners at this level than we would out of a solid quarterback
and the other thing that's nice about we do lose out, I feel like at the flex position. I think someone like Ramondre, Cortland Sutton, Jalen
Michael Wilson might. Well, no, 20 picks. I don't think we're going to be able to.
20 picks. We're going to be having the conversation about Blake Corum, J.K. Dobbins, Reed, Pollard. All these are great options, right? Relative.
Pollard would be pretty nice at that.
Yeah. I mean, but I also think
like if we can find one of the upper tight end ones. But
I also think stacking like Bo Nix with Waddle, it accomplishes close to the same as what Dak's going to do next year. Close to the same, but not the exact same, right? So it's that 2v2 you have to ask yourself, is one of these skill positions plus Bo Nix or Purdy later on got to be about the same as what Dak and who else did we get? Or who else will get? Yeah. Dak and one of these.
I think we can wind up stacking Dak later with Fergo or Flournoy just to kind of hedge that a little bit if you don't want to reach on.
It's not necessarily the stack, but that's the only consideration here because I do think Dak is going to score more points than someone like Bo Nix. Bo Nix had that random foot injury, right, for example.
But the combination of points from the two might be
exactly
greater.
Right,
yeah.
And especially considering when we had Caleb to begin with, who I think his floor is going to be like 18 points. I think these two will vie for the top quarterback.
I 100% think they'll be our two top producing quarterbacks.
The only thing I was going to say is because we went quarterback this early, in an 18-round format, I'm fine with just being done at quarterback too, right? So from here on, we can just build out the rest
Yeah,
of
I'm
the
okay with that.
yeah.
Getting 2 top tier quarterbacks at first, and then just going medium floor, high ceiling,
Yeah.
going into picking the quote unquote bench players.
And there's arguments for taking 3 quarterbacks no matter what, because this early on, you don't even have the bye weeks yet. So we may like lose out on a full week of scoring a quarterback. That matters less for this format because of the playoff dynamic I described earlier.
Right.
If you just make it to the playoffs, 2 quarterbacks of this caliber can usually get you through. But that's the other argument for 3 is that in those playoff weeks, well, not just having the third stack, access to a third game environment or a third ceiling potential is huge. So if you have 3 functioning stacks, that's 3 bets you've already made in the preseason that it doesn't matter how it actually turns out. You just have the chances of exposure to that happening that way because you gave yourself that third. So that's the other consideration why people say you need to take 3. But I don't know, like we have 2 of the best and they can spike with anybody. Okay, so now we're back on the clock here toward pick 100. I love Tony Pollard here. I love Dobbins. I love Quorum. I don't know if you want to go receiver, 4 seconds.
Nah, I like the running back here now.
Pollard?
Yeah, Pollard's probably going to be our best bet here. Dobbins is interesting though.
Yeah, we got Pollard for this round. We're up in 2 picks, so we can go Dobbins, Quorum, one of these receivers, Dobbs or Myers are okay.
I think I'd rather go Dobbins than Quorum just because I'm a little bit more confident.
Dobbins just went.
Yeah, and I guess
we got
if we want to go running back, I'm okay with
Quorum just went.
Wow.
Okay, 10 seconds here. So we can go Myers, Dobbs, Pittman. I think I like Pittman the best. I'm not sure.
Yeah, out of all that. But
okay.
Laporta.
Did I get him? Yeah.
Out of all the pass catches in that range, man, I'm very, very excited about Laporta.
Get them fingers, baby. Get them fingers.
I do like Josh Downs out of Indy as well, assuming the quarterback situation is stabilized. And I think they tried to bring in Riley Leonard, but I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. Xavier Worthy will probably have a
remember how earlier I was like with McBride, Drew Petzing, McBride really benefited. Guess where Petzing is the offensive coordinator now?
Okay, gotcha.
All
right.
You can see that happening. Williams was always the secondary piece, though they fired their OC last year because he didn't throw the ball to Williams enough. Jameson Williams.
That dude can catch some balls, man. Not to say it like that, but that dude is nice out of the backfield.
He's great at catching them ball.
Yeah. It's hard not to, man. But it's good that it's called a football, whatever. I'm not going to get into this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to defend myself.
Leathery balls.
Laporta, you can do whatever you do. I'm going to say the words that make the most sense. No pause.
Laporta was hurt some of last year. There was the thing about emphasizing Jameson Williams, which is probably not going to go away this coming year. That being said, the OC change, where his price is really good, I think Laporta in general. He goes after Kyle Pitts, before Gadsden. Now, I do like the tight ends a little bit later, like the Kelsey through Andrews range with Jake Ferguson. That's all solid. To me, it's all solid all the way through Schultz, really. I don't like Kenyon Sadiq as much. So in other words, I think Laporta gives you legit tight end 1 upside potential weeks, not like Brock Bowers ceiling, not like McBride ceiling, but I think top 10 at the position pretty much every week is certainly on the table, and top 5 like a few times through the year.
Easy. Yeah. Easy.
Yeah. And a half point PPR, that differential between someone like I guess it matters more, but Brock Bowers in round 2 is insane to me this year. I think he's incredible, but I'm not going to pay that when I can get like 70% of that much later on and then dominate at receiver and running back. Okay, we're back on the clock, 10 seconds here. We have Higgins again, Chris Rodriguez, Jordan Mason.
Go with your heart.
Let's go Mason because I want to get these running backs out of the way earlier. They tend to thin out pretty badly on this site. and Mason is going to be at least half that Minnesota running back room with Aaron Jones being much older. I think we can backdoor our way into like 18 to 20 touches for most of the season. And all we need is a 30-something-year-old running back to get hurt with Aaron Jones.
Right.
And he does
And
every year.
which does happen pretty often.
Yeah. Now here, Khalil Shakir stands out.
He's there, Fergo. Wait, Shakir?
Yeah, he's
I
good.
do like Shakir a lot, and we don't have a lot of him anywhere else.
No, not a lot of receiver, and I think our tight end ceiling is pretty good right now with Laporta. So
yeah,
I start Shakir here.
I do wonder if Fergo has the higher floor, though. I'm not trying to get you to change your pick or anything. This is
so it's already it moves too fast here, so it's already through.
Okay, yeah. Now we got 20 picks now. Okay, I do. I think I like Fergo better than I like Laporta as far as
price for sure, right? I think,
but I like. I mean, if the offensive coordinator and with McBride's production last year, it definitely tracks that the tight end is going to be the heavily featured part of the offense. I think what we could potentially see out of Laporta would surpass all the tight ends we're seeing right now. Like he'll be in conversations with Brock Bowers as far as best tight end in the league this year, probably.
I think this Dallas Goedert price is insane.
I love Goddard.
He just had AJ Brown clear out, like the only other big-bodied like goal line threat.
I love.
He scored the touchdowns already. Me too.
Awesome.
He's
love everything about Goddard. I've liked the Philly tight end room for a long time.
Yeah, and they got Eli Stowers this year. I don't know if you know about Stowers yet or not.
No, not yet. I was talking about like a few years ago. They had another the white guy. I forgot his name.
Oh yeah.
Did the eye black all the way down. Looked pretty cool.
Yeah. Zach Ertz, right?
Yeah, Zach Ertz.
Yeah, Zach Ertz plays for the Commanders now.
And Dallas Goedert combination was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. Zach Ertz went to like the Cardinals and then bounced around and then I like Zach Ertz a lot. He's still playing, but he got hurt last year, and I was so exposed to Zach Ertz because I knew the Commanders were going to do exactly what they did with him when he was healthy, which was like all that floor stealing you were talking about for Fergo. This was 8 to 10. Like didn't have anybody else. It was McLaurin was out or like holding on the contract or something, and then he got hurt. If Daniels didn't get hurt and then Ertz himself didn't get hurt, it was just such a smash last year. I think he was going to like pick 150 or something. 5 picks away. We start talking about our pick here. So far we're at a 2-4-4-1 with 18 rounds. We can typically finish at 7-8 receivers, 2 to 3 tight ends. I think we're both said we're good at quarterback, running back, anywhere between 4 to 6. But this early on in half PPR with the capital we already invested between Gibbs and Love, and then Pollard being 1,000 running back, probably 1,000-yard running back, a lot of touchdowns. And then we said half the Vikings running back room with Mason. I think we only need one more running back, and so I think here, like receivers, right? If there's anybody,
do you like Woody Marks enough to touch him now, or
no? I'd rather go Mitchell, Spears, Robinson, or Tank Bigsby later for sure.
Okay.
We're kind of out of options here, though. Maybe we can get Mark Andrews to bolster tight end.
Yeah, that'd be fun with me. What was that? Juwan Jennings a little lower down. Yeah.
Yeah, he's interviewing with he's visiting the Vikings right now, actually. Juwan Jennings.
I like Minnesota right now. The quarterback situation needs to get solidified.
I think Kyler's going to be very good with them, but I mean he's going to be up there competing against Justin Jefferson, who's not as good. Also, Jordan Addison, not as good, so he's not going to get shit up there, in my opinion.
I'm also not like a believer in Kyler Murray as well.
Yeah.
Where's Diggs? I don't want Diggs, to be honest. Yeah.
Do you want to maybe go? We're kind of maybe Travis Hunter. We're out of options here.
Is Travis Hunter playing full-time receiver this year?
No, I'm going to start him up anyways though because we're out of time.
Okay.
And then I can tell you what a bad bet we just made. So no.
Well, I thought they dedicated him to full-time receiver this year.
No, what they said was there's been one report, and it's a massively controversial report by Ian Rappaport, And all he did was just put out what I understand of the situation was he put out what the general consensus was before, but that was never confirmed by the team. And it's the following. He said Travis Hunter will play mostly cornerback with some receiver or something like that.
Yeah.
So they want to focus in more on defense. But the one part of the season we saw last year where they hadn't traded for Myers yet, and then their main guy, Brian Thomas, I think, was hurt. Travis Hunter had a legit 14 target game. And he got hurt that game, I think. This was like halfway through the season. He started coming on very strong, and you could see the ceiling at receiver. But the story on their cornerback situation is I don't know who they took in the draft. This might have changed, but they did lose their top tier cornerback last year. And so they're just kind of thin in general. And Hunter, in a lot of people's opinions, has always been a better corner than he has been a receiver. Though the dude won the best, is it the Blitnikoff? I don't know, the best receiver in the nation award in that year. So it's not like he's a slacker. All that to say, I think he's a good bet for where he goes because it's so late. And for our team in particular, we have enough floor and ceiling around him. Now, his actual numbers, I mean, Brian Thomas should get back more involved, I think, this year. But last year, just kind of like a big question mark, didn't really pan out, and a sincere regression from his rookie season. You almost never see it with year two receivers who were that productive as a rookie. Just almost never. And for what Brian Thomas's prospect was, the caliber of prospect playing across from Malik Neighbors, and people, he was just amazing. He was really good. And he's just a big step back. The other targets on the team, though, to me are wide open. Jacoby Myers, 5 to 7 targets, maybe 70 yards a game, but no guarantee there. Parker Washington came out of nowhere last year. He's pretty good for most people's consideration, but he has no weight behind his name, or the team could easily move on. Right. And then tight end is like Brenton Strange, and they took 2 other guys. Hey, we're back on the clock here, so I think we need a bolster receiver again.
I was just about to ask, do you like Jerry Jeudy or Tesla more?
Tesla will catch more touchdowns. I think Jeudy will get more targets, but I think Tesla for half PPR.
And a half PPR? Yeah, I agree.
Okay. We can also look at rounding out running back here. I like Tajay Spears, Brian Robinson. There's that Dylan Sampson guy I was telling you about. And then Tank Bigsby. I think it'd be smart to get done with running back here. It's up to you.
I mean, if there's somebody that you believe in the ceiling of at this point in time,
I think I have 30% of Tank Bigsby, no joke, and I'll probably finish higher because where he goes, all you need is a small Saquon tweak in the year, and this is the starting Eagles running back, and he's got juice. Other guys here, though, Brian Robinson, same thing. He's not as good as Bigsby, but a great situation as a handcuff.
Okay. Well, if it's handcuff to handcuff, we're probably more likely to see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I've treated it that way. I am grossly invested in Tank Bigsby. He could ruin my he's pick 170. He's not going to kill you.
No, not at all. That's why I like taking him like handcuffs. If we're looking at handcuffs at this range, I don't mind taking the ones that have the highest upside on it. So you're looking at good offenses, you're looking at talented players, and you're looking at whether or not they're going to be involved in the run and the pass game.
Yeah. I really like the way this team's shaping out, man. 2 elite quarterbacks, 2 elite running backs, 2 absolutely solid backups, or RB2s, I should say. Pollard will be the starter on this team, unquestioned, and as long as he stays healthy. Bigsby, all the juice at backup, and then receiver, just good, solid floors. Touchdown potential may be lacking for a half PPR side is the one knock I'd give us, but we'll fix that with Flanoy.
Yeah, I agree. Actually.
Get our guy.
I am a firm believer in guys like Ryan Flanoy being able to just kind of snake touchdown targets. Like, this is just their bag of tricks, man.
Yeah.
And with CeeDee Lamb's injury history and George Pickens' history of off the field issues, I do firmly believe there will be at least 1 to 2 games where we see Ryan Flanoy have to operate as number 1 pass catcher for the Cowboys. Not to say that he'll play as well as Lamb will, but
He did just last year. Like 3 to 4 of those games, these massive spikes.
He was definitely the the biggest producer in those games, but I'm talking about like where he won't have another receiver on the other side of him, like Pickens or Lamb, which he had all last year.
So we're gonna go up.
He'll be the one.
We're up in 6 picks, 191, 194. I think Flanoy will certainly be on the table. If we're planning on getting him, that's going to put us at 7 wide receivers, which I think everything from here is kind of a luxury pick. We do need to bolster receiver because we're going to need the variance to make up for the lack of a Jamar Chase or someone like that we know is going to just lock down a spot for us every week. So I think we can bank on Flanoy. Where do you want to round out the rest of the team? I think we said we were good at quarterback. Running back, I think we're solid. We can probably get another tight end.
Yeah, it's all
the 2 we have are pretty great as is. We could also bang out 2 receiver. If we do 2 receivers, we'll be left with 1 pick at the way end. Tight end would probably be the best there.
I do like Cade Otton a lot if he falls far enough.
You want me just to get Flanoy here real quick? Or
yeah, let's grab Flanoy because he's like the only real believe pick I have left. Everybody else is kind of just like we can get a couple weeks of real production out of him. Names that fit that mold really well are Tank Dell and Alvin Kamara. Here's the thing. If Alvin Kamara plays, whoever picks him up is getting the steal of a lifetime. But if he doesn't play, you did just waste a pick.
He's a big if. Back here, though, with 5 other running backs, I don't think he's a risk at all for our team. But I don't necessarily want to take him either. Okay, 5 seconds here. Do we want to round out receiver? One more tight end. Tank Dell?
I like Cade Otton would be fine too. But either one. I don't hate either one of those things. Tank Dell's going to get enough volume and enough touchdown looks for us to be fine. But I do think Cade Otton will operate as the number 1 pass catcher for Tampa Bay a lot this year.
If Dell is healthy, I think he's the better pick for our team. I agree with Cade Otton. I think he's a smash back here. Now, like his touchdowns were really lacking last year, but I think he still had 2 or 3 games right in the middle.
Mike Evans was full in system for a little while on that too, and we know how much of the goal line he commands.
Otton's reputation is doesn't go off unless Evans or Godwin is hurt, and he took over like as the lead target. I think. Yeah, Evans
is now gone. So,
but they should imbue like they should fold in a Igbuka, I think, a lot more this year.
Well, I'm not saying that immediately all of Mike Evans' production is going to go to Cade Otton, but I am saying that the comfort level between Cade Otton and Igbuka is probably a little higher for Cade Otton.
Not to mention Baker just
that he runs like
Baker's like an enabler of fantasy points. He gets these guys like Tez Johnson last year had a bunch of random spikes. Jalen McMillan had a bunch of random spikes. Igbuka was dominant the first half of the season. I think he had.
I really liked what Igbuka brought to the table, and ironically enough, his production is probably the catalyst for driving Mike Evans out of town.
Dude, you know what his receiving yards prop was on the offseason? 600 yards. Igbuka.
Easy over.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We'll do a couple of shows where we'll just look at the props and we can
such an easy over, man.
Yeah. We'll run some parlays out there. I also have I use Novig now, which if you haven't bet with Novig, it's awesome because I'm in Texas and we don't have access to straight casinos here where you can just place a singular prop bet.
I did hear about that.
You have to parlay, and when you parlay, of course, you're going to lose a lot more because football is football and the shit sucks. It's either fixed or variance. I don't care which one was which. I just don't get paid as much as I should. I know I should be getting paid.
Yeah.
But with Novig, you can just place these singular prop bets. And I can pull my record, but I think I'm like a good 50 bets over the mean, like the 50%, right? Out of all the ones I placed, I think I've won 50 more than I've lost. And this is only a 1-year sample size or since like week 6 or something of last season, but I think you can do a lot better. And we can use that book as soon as they start listing stuff. All right, here, last pick up. I think going one more tight end, going one more quarterback makes a lot of sense. There's some handcuff running backs here that are interesting. I really like this Ted Hurst kid that actually was going to Tampa too. Oh, 4 seconds here, Goo.
Tua.
Yeah. Because he gives us that third quarterback optionality in the playoffs and stuff.
There's
even
just
though we're
actual upside with a quarterback that's going to play most weeks.
And
as
if we get
opposed
some
to
bye week
banking on
coverage,
it.
that's great too. So
Exactly. And the other thing to consider here is at this point in the draft, if you don't nail the unheard of dude who's going to just pop this year,
yeah,
you wasted it. And when you could have real production, I would go real production over that.
yeah.
Unless
It's
you
a
have
tight
a
end.
good track record of picking the pop. Like if you find that guy that the year that we didn't know who Nico Collins and Tank Dell were, if you found them that year or the year that we didn't know about
Kyren and Puka.
Right, or Miles Austin that year that he became Dallas's number one. Like if you were able, like if you have a good track record of picking those guys, by all means go with your heart in these rounds. But if you have the option to get real bona fide production at this level of the draft, you take it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I think generally that works out to be tight ends this late have the most floor.
Yeah,
They're the best
great.
bet.
Because look,
But
there are
there's
tight ends
some
on there that I
receivers.
actually liked, like Gesicki, and like there are tight ends I could buy into if you talk to me long enough.
I know there will be at least 2 games where these guys give me more than like 12 to 15 points. I just know
Exactly.
that this season,
Especially in their offensive systems, you know damn well that Burrow's going to be using his tight end, and you know damn well that Matt Stafford and if Ty Simpson has to play, likes to use their tight end as well.
yeah, and Tom just I think is a steal of the draft if Kittle can't play. I took him in a lot of pre-draft because of that Achilles tear promise. I think he's going to be catching a lot of balls for the 49ers. Okay, so quick team recap here. 3 quarterbacks, Caleb, Dak, and Tua. Tua's a luxury pick. We think we got enough with the first 2. Running backs, Gibbs, Jeremiah Love, Tony Pollard, Jordan Mason, Tank Bigsby. Receivers, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, Travis Hunter, Isaac Tesla, Ryan Flanoy, Tank Dell, and then 2 tight ends, Sam Laporta and Mark Andrews. General thoughts, Goo, or highlights from this team?
Highlights off the top of my head are going to go to the quarterback position, obviously. 2 bona fide, like Pro Bowlers, potential to have 45 to 5,000 yards at any given season with their offensive production. Getting a guy like Tua in the very late rounds to just be able to clean up some of the, like if we have a bye week overlap, as you mentioned with Caleb and Dak, just being able to have that safety net there is really nice.
Yeah.
The running backs, the highlight to me is I think this season we're going to see a lot of good things out of Jeremiah Love. But obviously Gibbs is the home run hitter here, right?
Yeah.
Receivers, we did solid. Smitty's going to give us some nice stuff. I think his touchdown numbers will uptick without AJ Brown in system. DJ Moore, real nice. And just to round off the pass catchers, I'm a huge fan of Tesla and Fournoy as far as ceiling players.
Late round potential here, dude. We probably just bagged 10 to 12 touchdowns between these 2 players.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And that's I know I'm a big believer in Ryan Flanoy, but being super realistic about the projections this year, he's wide receiver 3 for the Dallas Cowboys, which means at least 600 yards probably. Anywhere between 5 to 9 touchdowns, depending on how much love he gets in the red zone.
Yeah. We don't even need to wait for the red zone with Dak, right? That's the thing about Flanoy.
With Dak, the red zone is already an out. Yeah.
It's like that Torrey Horton bit. Like the thing is everything would shift to the JSN like motion. Everything would just roll a certain way. And a back end post just 30 yards down the field or 25 or something.
Exactly.
Or 15, and drop it in.
And with the offensive line
Good
play
night.
that Dallas has right now, being able to get to your third and fourth read in a progression isn't unheard of for Dak at all.
Yeah, and then the teams are going to be shadowing Pickens and Lamb. They're
And
going to
Lamb
shake
and
coverage that way.
Ferguson, and now you got to worry about Williams out of the backfield. And Dak took off a lot last year, or at least a little bit more than he had been in previous seasons.
And Tolbert left town, so Flanoy is like the established wide receiver 3. The
He
same
is
way
the
Tez Ball.
clear head wide receiver 3, third pass, maybe fourth pass catcher, depending on how you view Ferguson.
And he's got juice because I heard this stat earlier today, but the last combination of Cowboys players to achieve 100 yards on the ground and in the air in the same game. So the last running back that got 100 yards on the ground and the
It's going
last
to be Williams and Flournoy, I bet.
It was.
Yeah, it's going to be Williams and Flournoy, but that's just because I knew Williams had such a great season last year, and
They might be the only team, the only players to do that or something. I can't remember.
It's definitely the only time I've ever heard it being the running back and the wide receiver 3 of a team being the only two to get 100 yards in the game.
Oh, and then Tank Dell and Travis Hunter back here are just sitting on our team as like
Big
if
upside.
they hit.
Big upside. I'm a huge fan of what Hunter brings to the table, but if the Jaguars aren't going to be smart enough to use him, you don't trade up for a cornerback like that. You know what I mean? Like you trade up so that way you can get Travis Hunter, the guy who plays both ways. So it's weird to me that Jacksonville's putting out this report, and I feel like it's one of those, smoke up our ass things.
I don't think they did put out the report. So people have said this about Ian Rappaport that he lied when
he just makes stuff up.
Not that I don't think he did. I think that was an overstatement. But I think what they were getting at was that he put out this report with no sources, and the source was just a general consensus of what everybody had already believed before, plus like with some one comment or something. But I think you're spot on about the team investment here. I think you're spot on about the team investment. It's like, what are we doing with not playing him at receiver?
Right.
You shouldn't have picked him number 2 overall if this was just a cornerback.
If the plan was just going to put him at one position, number 2 overall is out of the question because he was. Look, he's a great receiver and he's a good cornerback, but he's not good enough at either position to warrant the number 2 overall pick. You picked him because he could play 2 positions, 2 really important positions.
There's a way to rename these teams on Underdog only, and that's going to make it much easier for us to figure out at the end of the season if one of these teams won, so I can make sure you get paid for your half for it. Let's try and let me try and keep up with this as we go this summer.
Oh, well, I have these teams, like I wrote them down by hand as well.
Excellent. Okay, that saves that time. Then let me see. Hey, here we go. Yeah, 12. No. Shit. I know I can do this from my phone, so I'll figure this out later. It's getting kind of late for me. I do have to get up early tomorrow, but what I wanted to end this show on was actually just going through some of these props because I think it's going to be useful exercise for us to on top of actually laying down a parlay tonight, which we will because I got a couple of boosts we can use. It's just going to be useful to figure out what we like about the season while at the same time getting accustomed to what Vegas thinks ththese teams will be, which is useful to kind of ground our perspective.
All of these seem like no-brainer overs.
Well, Burrow's never a no-brainer because he's going to get hurt most.
He's going to get hurt. Yeah.
And so then you got to break down how many games are on the season, right? So 17 games, 4,000. That's 3. You're locking him into 260 yards or something, or 280, and that's an achievement for a quarterback, right? 280 yards every time. That means all of your games where you are either great or your team forced you to throwing that much, which isn't. Yeah,
I don't know. With his configuration out in Cincinnati, I think that
might be the case, but he's got to stay healthy.
But yeah, that's the asterisk.
Which is why I don't like Burrow season overs, just as a rule.
I agree. I have a lot of players and a lot of teams that I stay away from specifically because I'm not comfortable with
overs. On the other hand,
that's ridiculous. They got to be projecting him for an injury, and if that's the case,
what did he even do last year? Dak 25. Let's see. 4,500 yards, and they are going to be passing more this year. I think guaranteed. We're not going to lean into a run-heavy game out of nowhere with Javonte plus Phil Maffa
Yeah, I wholeheartedly
and
agree.
Mr. Louis Vuitton himself back
Right.
there. So if I had to bet an over prop here, it's Dak for sure. Stafford still is very old, and he had all those back and neck injuries 2 years ago that everybody's concerned about. He can easily hit 4,000 again, but they added a fifth tight end to their roster in the draft. They got a pretty great talent, Max Clare out of Ohio State, who was dominant at Penn State. I think the year before he just had to go compete against Egbuka and the best receiving prospect since like probably for the last like 30 years or something with Smith there. So he wasn't gonna do much as a tight end, but now he's gonna go on with a bunch of I don't think Stafford's necessarily throwing for the 4,000 yards here. And the injury questions a year later make me even nervous. I would not bet the over on this.
Gotcha.
On Stafford over.
Yeah.
The bar's too high and there's too much that can go wrong. Purdy had the injury last year. 3,700 seems fair. I can see Shannon leaning into the run, though. Not one I'm necessarily buying. I think it's an okay price, but
I don't think I'm buying Brock Purdy's over either. Not that I don't believe in him or anything, but there's so many injuries out in San Francisco, both to the quarterback and receiver positions, that you just kind of don't know where the production's going to come from.
That's a great point. His top three options already have injury questions, and we don't, and they're not even hurt yet, but we know. Yeah. Well, George Kittle
it's in the back pocket. Yeah, Kittle, Mike Evans, and McCaffrey are all injury-prone human beings.
We know. So I would say lower is actually safer than over, I think. But
I would actually just fade a Brock Purdy bet.
Yeah,
let's be honest, if everybody is healthy for all 17, he's going to blow that number away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're betting on them getting hurt, yeah, sure, go for it. But if the problem is, what if they don't?
I'd rather bet him like an NFL MVP or something like that. I don't know what those odds are, but just play the market that way,
Yeah, if you're looking for that kind of stuff for Brock Purdy. But, I mean, if we're going to talk about MVP right now and do the way too early thing, give me Dak.
Yeah. Dak because the Cowboys
will be the improvements made to Dallas's defense, I think, will allow the Cowboys offense to shine the way that they really would have last year.
To just win enough games to be relevant to where Dak's
he's actually in the conversation. Yeah, he didn't just throw himself in the conversation as a result of his absurd level of play, which he did at around like week 9. People were like, we have to talk about him. He's playing out of his mind right now. But I think next year it'll be because there's actual team success and he'll be able to sustain his level of play and really, take a step forward as far as those conversations go, where people start to give him a little more respect instead of fading him at the end of the season for who was it that won the MVP over him that year?
Over Dak, I can't remember.
I want to say it was one of the old biddies that shouldn't have won it. Peyton Manning. It was Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Peyton Manning and Dak Prescott didn't play in the league at the same time. You goofy.
When did Peyton retire?
I don't know. I think he retired the year before Dak came in the league, though.
Okay, you can forgive me why I didn't remember that there was no overlap. And did he? Hold on, did he though?
I think he did.
He retired 2015, maybe, right?
And Dak got drafted in 2016.
2016. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they had any overlap.
I said Joe Montana.
I said Joe Montana. I said Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning.
Oh, I thought you said Peyton Manning.
No, he was MVP with Peyton Manning.
Oh, painted Manning instead of painting.
Yeah,
Manning?
Painted Manning. He's painted.
There's painted Manning, but I thought you said painted Manning, like he's painted. Like
painted Manning, like he got painted, like somebody painted Manning.
He huffed too much spray paint. He got paint dead, bro.
Oh man, he's painted.
He's painted.
What if we like coined that slang now, like for getting real messed up. Like, oh, bro, he's painted.
Painted's pretty good.
It's
Bro,
not
he's painting the
nothing.
town red, bro.
It's not nothing. It's not nothing. But
It's not nothing. Yeah, we just got to make that a thing. He's painted. We'll just start saying that about the players.
That dude got painted, bro. Like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, that one Vegas game, bro. They went out and they got painted.
They got painted.
They went out, they got painted. They got their gamble on. They got their drink on. They got painted. And then they went up and put like 300 yards up on the Raiders the day after.
They paint us because they ain't us.
I'm still upset at them for doing that. I get it. It's the Raiders and you're in Vegas. But, dude, take your job seriously.
They made it to work on time.
Like, take your job seriously, dog.
Yeah, for real.
Like, you're not a server at a Texas Roadhouse. You can't go in drunk, bro.
Yeah, just go in the offseason or something. Caleb, 36.99. Can't say it enough. Last year he threw for almost 4,000 yards. Passing him should be a lot better this year.
He's gonna get the over. Don't even question it.
Breaking news.
Caleb Williams is gonna throw for more than 3,700 yards this year. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, gold star bet of the fucking offseason.
Yeah, what the hell were they? You know what it is? It's one of those easy props that you throw in, and because you feel so good about it, you throw in like one of the spicy ones and mess up the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I think if we stop now at this 40% boost, let's see what that gives us. 175 payout for $50 on it. That seems pretty good to me. This is such a safe bet, though. This is like at least a unit, right? I think you'd drop 100 on this, and like that seems so safe to me. Before we place this, though, any of these other numbers stand out to you? I think May seems kind of low. They're gonna have a much harder schedule this year, though. Herbert seems low.
At 3,700 yards for Sam Darnold this year, with JSN taking a step forward as the number one, Jadarian Price bringing a bit of a younger juice to the offense.
Well, so Darnold, I don't know if I'd make that bet because I don't know if they're going to need to pass enough to where I feel comfortable saying he's got to throw for.
Okay, that's fair.
What is this? 3,700 divided by 17. That gives you 240. So he's got to throw for a lot of game. I don't know if he's going to. Herbert struggled last year. Had offensive line injuries with a much worse receiving room and weapons in general, and he threw for 3,700 yards last year. This 3,600 line with Mike McDonald coming in and revamped, I can see him blasting through this. As long as he stays.
Yeah. I mean, if everybody's healthy, I don't hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That Chargers offense is going to be nice enough and produce enough offensively that I could very easily see 4,500 yards if the season goes well.
Yeah, as long as they don't lose both their starting left tackles and week one, I think they got a chance here.
That's essentially what I'm coming from. Is the Chargers offense is typically high powered enough for us to be able to kind of buy in on them and be okay.
Oh man, I can't use that 40% boosterino. Was extender NBA. Okay. No worries. This is still pretty great parlay without it. This is typically where I stop for parlays unless I'm just being a full.
Let's just run like an 8-leg and see what happens.
All right, we can do that. Let's find some.
No, I was joking. I don't want to do that.
I'll throw 50. I'll throw 50 down for an 8-legger with you. That's fun.
I'm okay. Fuck it. Let's run an 8-leg parlay for a season-long results.
Yeah, let's do it. Is there another? So Lawrence here, right? Like he seems super.
So I was eyeballing that one pretty hard, but that one feels like the one that's gonna screw over the.
He threw for 4,000 yards last year, dude. The defense will probably be as good.
I can't explain. This is like that scene in Step Brothers when they're doing it.
They have better receivers than they did last year.
Something's gonna happen, and I don't know. I don't know. That one seems like the bet that's gonna kill us.
I trust the coach. I trust Liam Cohen. I trust that the receivers are better. We just bet on one of the receivers in the draft, right, with Travis Hunter. They have Myers now where they
Well,
didn't
we
have.
bet on Travis Hunter to pop a couple weeks, not to be a sustained receiver for what is this?
We like this.
250 yards a
We
game.
like the potential. He still needs to be able to pop, and that's on the back of the quarterback, right? Like,
It could be on the back of some jet sweeps.
So I think more importantly, Lawrence threw for almost 4,000 yards last year, and I think it's going to be about the same.
It seems safe.
I like Tad to the 8 leg. I think
You know what? Here's my problem with it. They did this 36-24. It's not like Baker's is 36-49, right? Like 36-49 for Herbo. I think
someone's probably betting him down or up.
But this 36-24 is what's bothering me. He's going to throw for 3,624 yards, and we're going to get fucked because of that half yard.
I'd buy the shit out of this price. I think this number is good through like 3,700, 3,800. I don't see him if they take a step back, it's not going to be that much farther.
I see no logic.
And here's the thing: they just lost Travis Etienne, so they're not going to be running the ball a lot more. Tuden's like I think a bigger back than Etienne is. I think, and he's got I think he might have better speed, but I don't think this is like a 20 carry. Chris Rodriguez on the other end can eat up some carries, but I don't think they're going to be running it more than they did last year. And I think all their receiving options are better this year than they had last year. If the offense just does the same thing, right? I don't see the situation getting much worse for them.
I don't see any logical reason to disagree with you.
Yeah. Well, we'll consider him. We don't have to put him in. This is only pass defense, right?
Something feels off about the Trevor Lawrence situation.
It's the Jaguars. It's their shitty teal.
I'm pretty positive it's just the fact that it's the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I don't trust them to do it for 2 years in a row.
Yeah, it's scary. I don't like any of these other numbers here, except for Jaden Daniels. Except for Jaden Daniels at 3,300. I think that's pretty strong.
I like Jalen Hurts has a 3,200 line.
He normally, I think he'll outdo that, right? But he normally only has around there, like 3,300.
What is this Cam Ward line?
Who?
Cam Ward with 3,200.
Oh yeah, I think Cam Ward could easily outdo that. Dude, Jaden Daniels threw for 3,500 yards his rookie season. He absolutely burned me last year because his prop was at 3,300. And he was in almost every season long parlay like I did. As over.
It makes sense. I mean,
he just crushed me, man. That injury. He's a running quarterback, so you could see how it was going to go wrong. I shouldn't have put him in everything. That was too much exposure. That was the big lesson from last year on the season-long bets.
I like sure. Both Cam Ward and Jalen Hurts to outdo this number.
I like Jaden Daniels. I'm just going to throw him in there. Now, Cam Ward, 2025 rookie season, threw for 3,169. Jesus, yeah. This number is probably good through 3,300 at least. I
wanted to say conservative 3,500 to be honest, because they made some real improvements to that offense.
Darnell Tate, Wan'Dale Robinson are two massive upgrades to the two rookies they had going last year with Tremere Dike and Eli Kyle-Manor, and Calvin Ridley, who's like 30 now.
Did you watch the Cam Ward film last year? There was a compilation film probably of like his best throws all ended up in drops.
Yeah, so he looked.
I mean, like his best throws. Legit, this dude was coming out, throwing out of some weird arm angles. He was throwing on the run. He was throwing backpedaling. He was putting the ball on the spot and just no help.
He was legit. Yeah, I really liked him. Plus, he went to Washington State, so he's good in my book.
I'm a big fan of the Miami days too, man. I'm not a big fan, but I've got enough connections to the Miami University between Michael Irvin and Jimmy Johnson to have a lot of love for that college.
Who else stands out here? I think Lamar His passing yards are kind of low for what he normally does. I know he had the injury last year.
So yeah, that's the only thing that scares me about him. But I mean, quarterbacks coming off an injury are usually pretty solid to have an okay.
4,000 yards 2 years ago, 3,600 yards 3 years ago, and he still threw for 2,500 last year. He just missed a lot of games.
So you think
I
that's
don't know.
800 more yards of production for sure? I have no reason. I have nothing against betting on Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
unless it's to win the AFC Championship game.
Let's add him here, and then we can take him off as we get into some of these other props. Like he's one of the he's probably the shakiest we have. I think these are our gold stars, like Dak and Caleb. If we bet nothing else the rest of the summer, and if I just kept putting in $50, like a dollar cost averaged into into this bet, like I made the same bet every day for the next 6 months or 5 months or whatever, that would be okay with me.
That's when they make the call to Vegas and one of them gets hurt.
Exactly. That's what happened with Jaden Daniels and me last year. So I just said I learned my lesson, right? But I'm ready to get hurt.
And I was like, it sounds like you didn't learn your lesson at all.
Sounds like you didn't learn your lesson at all. It sounds like
anything.
It sounds like you didn't learn a fucking
thing. Sounds like we're wasting lessons on your ass. Man.
That's right. Yeah, all the lessons.
Now they're just taking your money.
These touchdown props, there's a lot
more. I don't like any
of
these touchdown props.
These are kind of inflated, right? Like
fuck all of these touchdowns. Are you kidding me? 27 touchdowns that's the fucking bar for Dak. Get off my ass, dog.
What you're saying
is he'll do it. I think he'll have like 30, but like
it's hard to bet.
What the hell is that? Like you're gonna tell me that I have to bet he's gonna hit 27? No, something's gonna go wrong.
Yeah, the Javonte season coming in.
I was just about to say Javonte is gonna blow up on the goal line, and we're gonna be screwed.
Well, we can place that. Place that bet too if we want Javonte over.
I'm not comfortable enough in it.
All right, now these rushing yards are always very difficult for season long stuff because the potential for injury is so high.
Like any of this.
Yeah, these are tough to place. Let's see if there's some values in here somewhere.
Maybe that Javonte Williams for 1,100 yards. I like
that Bucky lower. Let me look up Bucky's.
No, don't be betting on any lowers.
Is that just depressing or what?
It's that, yeah, dude. We're betting on injury basically.
No, Bucky's got two. Severe threats this year. Running back. They have Sean Tucker, who stole the goal line work last year. And then they added Kenny Gainwell, who's like always a coach's darling.
Yeah, but Kenny Gainwell actually sucks. If you ever watched a Philly game, he's not good at football.
I just don't know if they're going to hand this ball off 15 times a game to Bucky because they already don't. And last year he only rushed for 588. I know there was the injury, but let's see what he did in 2024.
That actually makes me so mad because Baker thrives off the play action. Why the hell aren't you handing the ball off to the running back to set that up? I think he's the best quarterback in the league off of play action passes, if I remember that advanced analytics correctly. And even though I hate him, they're helping my point right now.
Yeah.
They should be handing the ball off to Bucky. That's wild.
I don't like betting under, but yeah, maybe just to stay away from. There's some other numbers out here that look great, like Love 1,000 yards this season.
I like Love for 1,000 yards. I was going to say that one, but he is a rookie, so it is.
But 17 games. We're talking about 60 yards a game, right? Like,
actually, just bet that over because here's the thing: running backs that are taken in the top 5 have historically been great their rookie year.
Oh yeah, that's it. You can barely miss. Genty tried to miss, and he still had some massive spikes last year.
No, the Raiders tried to miss. Genty did his best. The Raiders did their best to end his career before it started.
That's true.
They were like, "We're going to give you no help. Good luck."
974 divided by 17 is 57. So this guy needs 58 yards a game.
He's good. We're gonna get 58 yards of production out of Jeremiah.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he'll actually get 58 yards every week because he is playing behind a shaky offensive line. But I do think that his season overall will culminate to where he averages that per game.
I like that Chase Brown number too off the top of my head. I think he had 1,000 yards last year. They added no competition for this guy, and he's just going to lose players like Samaje P.
Is
Ryan.
this Jadarian Price at 800 yards?
I'm not betting that. Charbonnet could come back halfway through the season and ruin that for us.
Dude, he could have that by halfway through the season.
I agree, but I think he's more. I just don't think it's as secure as these other things we've been placing.
I think it's slightly more secure than Jeremiah Lovett at 975.
Especially because what if Sharps comes back earlier than that? You know, I think he had like a clean ACL. I think it didn't impact other ligaments. I don't know if there's got to be residual damage.
Still 6 months, though.
I don't know if I'd take the Price bet. I would take the Chase Brown bet, though. That 900 yards seems pretty doable, though we're banking on Burrow's health, and we avoided that bet earlier for that reason. Travis Etienne seems like a no-brainer here, too. As far as these quarterback rushing, I don't really
Was that Josh Allen at 500 yards rushing? What are they thinking?
That people see Josh Allen's name, go, oh, it's Josh Allen, and then hammer that. Now, what did he do last year, though? Because I actually don't know Allen's rushing yards. Dude, he recorded 579 rushing yards last year. Is that
he's going to go lower than that this season, man. He's going to go lower than that this season. I can almost guarantee he'll go lower than that this year.
Yeah, regular season 579.
Yeah, I would guess that he's going to finish out about like 450 this year.
I can't say either way there. I don't know.
I'm not going to bet it, but
Yeah.
I will say that on the record right now that I believe that Josh Allen will finish with under 450 rushing yards this year.
Yeah, I think that I can see them just continuing to lean in the run. That's been his career trajectory. And when they've done that, they've taken the pressure off, and now we've seen him. He's hit new heights as a quarterback. He still runs into the same Josh Allen.
Playing some really, really good ball. Like I love Josh Allen. I love everything about him. I just wish that he would have had real opportunities to win younger in his career.
You see anything else in this in these rushing yards that you like?
No.
I don't think so either. Some like Caleb's rushing over is probably going to hit that.
Why are we betting on Puka Nakua's rushing yards? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know he
the manufacturer,
but damn, dog. Like
season rush TDs. You think Gibbs, right? 12 touchdowns. This guy's gonna have a touchdown a game.
Is it just rushing though?
This is just rushing, yeah.
A touchdown a game puts him on par with that LT season.
No, LT had 40 touchdowns that season.
No, am I wrong? That's not right. I thought it was like 26.
LaDainian Tomlinson was so good for fantasy. People had to ban him in subsequent years from the he wasn't eligible to be picked in some leagues.
That's absurd.
Did you look it up? I think it's
it's
28 rushing touchdowns.
28. Okay, yeah.
He scored 31 overall, I think.
Between catching two. Okay, yeah. I knew it wasn't 40. That was absurd. But 38 total, 31 total is still a crazy number. And I knew it was like 20-something on the ground.
Yeah, it's it's 3 times what these other guys are here for.
Right, but we're talking about you're putting Jahmyr Gibbs in that conversation. Like
I'm saying I'm not saying he's gonna score 30 touchdowns. I am saying he can probably average
a game, and you know he's gonna have several multiple touchdown games. That's easy 23 to 25 touchdowns.
Yes. He had 13 rushing touchdowns last season with Montgomery on this team. That's my point. Like, that seems like a no-brainer to me. We don't have to bet it, but
I think it's going to go to 17. Look, I like him to get over 12, though.
I think it's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, I like him to get over 12.
James Cook will probably do that
too. What about this Javonte Williams number at 10?
What did he do last year, Javonte Williams?
Oh, we've already reached that's the number of.
Yeah, but we can take off. Who do we say? We weren't sure about Lamar's passing at 3,200. He's like the most shaky leg on this so far, I think. Lamar
and Jeremiah Love are the only two I'd be concerned about, because
and
I have
Gibbs.
noticed historically that running backs with rookies, when one hits, the other one typically doesn't.
Yeah.
So, and we're pretty high on Jadarian Price as well.
I
Jeremiah
think
is-
those are apples and oranges. I think Jadarian Price is a very, very good running back going into an elite
I'm just
situation.
talking about NFL trends as a whole right now,
Well,
not
I don't think
specifically
it's
about
apples
the
and
types of
oranges.
player this
Sorry, I
is,
don't-
the team this is. I'm talking about NFL trends. When quarterbacks are taken 1 and 2 overall, historically, one has been a Hall of Famer and the other's been a bust. Well, that did get broke in the Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota year, though. But I am saying that there are NFL trends to follow, and whether or not you believe the NFL is leaned on product, or if you believe it is fully integrity based on coaches, players, and owners doing the right things for their team, it doesn't matter. Historically in the NFL, when two running backs get drafted pretty high, when one hits, the other typically doesn't.
Price wasn't even supposed to go in the first round this year.
But he did.
Like by a lot of people's mock.
Those people were high as hell, bro. And I don't even want to blame the weed on that, because that wouldn't make you that stupid. Jadarian Price was the second best running back in this draft. And if you don't value running back that high, then you're not paying attention to what wins games. The Seahawks just won one on the back of a running back. And a defense. But the point is, they usually work in tandem pretty well together.
Yeah, so Price is a really great fit for Seattle. I think you can give him the ball 20 times a game. He's gonna have 100 yards and touchdown most of those games.
But that's what I mean.
Does he have a prop? Like,
his prop was like 800 yards.
Dude, 6 touchdowns.
I think his yard prop is gonna hit better than his touchdown.
Hey, Goo. Check out Montgomery's rushing touchdown. I like this way better than Gibbs.
A trap.
No, it's not.
I like it, but it feels like a trap.
No, he's gonna have this by week 3, like week 4. Unless he gets hurt, like that's the only thing.
You were too high on these Lions guys, man.
No, they're awesome. Montgomery's awesome.
Look, I love DeMonte, man. I've loved him since he was a Bear, but that's not the point. Like,
he's going to be in a great situation consistently because of his defense. I'm not asking him to get 1,000 yards here. I'm asking him to run in the end zone after turnovers 6 times. And
that's why it feels like a trap.
On a team with no, it's not a trap. It's a great pick. It's a great value. This is how you make money.
I get, you know what, we bet on him high everywhere else, though. It's a lot of exposure to DeMonte.
Okay, you don't like that over Lamar's?
I think we should just go for exposure we don't currently have everywhere else, and because we only have Dak and Caleb.
We literally drafted these 2 earlier today at the same time.
But it's one other spot, though, is what I'm saying. Like, it's not overexposure to them, but I do feel like as the season progresses, we are going to buy a lot of Jeremiah Gibbs.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeremy,
every
Jameer Gibbs. God, Jesus fucking Christ, Jameer Gibbs.
I know what you meant.
I know you understood it, but there's going to be clips of this. I have to say the name right.
Yeah, Jameer Gibbs. There's other props we could look through and stuff, but
I talk about Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price for so long. I kept trying to do that with his name too.
Jadarian Gibbs.
I kept trying to do it. I was trying to mix it all.
Jamarian Price. I think this looks good as is then. Unless you feel passionate about any of these other numbers taking over on one of these legs.
No, if we were thinking about pulling one off, the only one I would consider putting on is Jadarian Price's season rushing yards, because they were at like 800. And for running back 1 in Seattle, that's like, come on, dog. What are we talking about?
I think because of the way that they divided the carries last year, that'd be difficult. And that's my concern is Charbonnet maybe come back early or something like that.
An injury, and you just drafted this guy who has no injury history. Why wouldn't you just give him the rock?
I hope I agree with you. I have a lot of Jadarian Price.
Yeah.
So I hope you're right. And it's only
Yeah.
47 yards a game. That doesn't seem like it's that hard to reach.
Is the head coach there seems like a pretty smart guy, and in my opinion, that's the smart thing to do, dude. If you have Charbonnet who's coming off an injury, even if he's going to be healthy, like
they lost their OC, right? And so we don't know fully what the offense is going to look like, who they're going to be exactly. So do you like his rushing over Jahmyr Gibbs' touchdowns?
what is it, 12 touchdowns versus 800 yards?
Yeah.
Do you feel confident in a superstar's ability to give you 12 touchdowns before a rookie's ability
It's
to give
the
you?
fact that it's on the ground only is the question I have with Gibbs, but he's got no competition there. Pacheco is not competition, especially on the goal line.
Pacheco runs like he bites people, though.
Pacheco's
I know that's a meme, but that's like a real thing. The dude runs memes.
He hasn't looked good since he came back, and he's not very good on the goal line.
It's not like Kansas City gave him a lot to work with. They suck.
I think Gibbs is good for a touchdown a game, at least on average, just depending on what type of touchdown. I don't know, but I think that he's going to score.
You think he'll score 17 again? Okay, gotcha. All right.
Is that as locked in as Jadarian Price, 47 rush yards a game? I think Jadarian Price could get there. I
think even with Charbonnet in the lineup, 50 rushing yards a game is pretty achievable for an upstart rookie who is drafted.
I know that they're going to play in a really tough division against some really good defenses, and they have the number one harder schedule there. And I guess I just trust Gibbs to deliver in a way that I don't trust.
Well, the number one schedule this year plays teams like Philly and whoever won the South.
Is that Tampa
it's not
or
like
Carolina?
The number one schedule in the NFC doesn't buy you a lot of hard defenses to play against.
I think their schedule is going to be pretty tough, but I just have questions. I just have questions about Seattle about Price's situation, and I just have questions that I don't with Jahmyr Gibbs. But that doesn't mean either of them need to be the best one on the board. I think Montgomery's 5.5 is the best prop on the board.
It probably is.
That's insane how low that is.
It just seems like a trap because
it's like they know something or something.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like a trap. Like
because he just did this last year, right? He had 10 or something last year alone, 8,
and he was getting nothing. He got nothing.
Let's see what the other Texans are. If Mark says over 2, well, actually, guess what we need to look at is Woody Mark's goal line opportunities. Is it goal line attempts?
But we were talking about it earlier, though. We hedged our bets hard with Houston's goal line opportunities going both Schultz and Nico.
Okay. Woody Marks had 36 red zone touches, 2.3 a game, including 17 red zone rushing attempts in total. So you figure Montgomery's going to see probably 20-something at least instead of Woody Marks here. It's this conversation that we need to have. It's like, what's the opportunity like? Consider if we assume that the Texans defense is as good as they were last year. I think the offense will be better because they have to be. They kind of sucked last year. Who else is good?
ETN, a lot of injuries in their offense last year. You got to put
ETN rushing TDs looks okay.
Was that Dak at 2 rushing touchdowns?
Yeah. Dak doesn't run anymore, though, right?
I think he gets more than 2 a season, though.
Let's see what. Hopefully, there's a year over.
I know he for sure got 2 last year.
6 in 2019. Oh, to be young again. 2 rushing last year.
Yeah, because he had one on a quarterback sneak, and then he had that one where he dove over the dude in the Philly game.
1 2024. Did he get hurt in 2024?
Yeah.
2 in 2023.
Yeah.
1. He got hurt one of these years too.
I think it was that one right before because he got hurt. Then he played an MVP caliber season, and then he got hurt the year after that, and then he played an MVP caliber season.
It looks like it's a true coin toss. Not the bad.
Are you betting on Dak getting hurt? Is basically the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not because we already have his passing over. I wonder
Well, we
if
can't put him in on underdog anyway, but
it might.
um,
No, you're right. Right. Sometimes different sites have changed that, so I wanted to check.
oh, gotcha.
Okay.
But for the record, though, I do. If you guys are looking at season long bets, and this is for the stream people, when inevitably we do get people here. I do like Dak Prescott's season long props. All of them have been fire. I didn't look at his passing touchdowns though, so I can't comment on that.
27.5, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. I like him to beat it, but I don't like that it's so high off the bat. That's whack.
No, that's crazy. I wouldn't have bet that.
It's not enticing at all.
I think 7.5, 7.5 for Jeremiah Love looks okay. Dude, I really like this Montgomery one. I think that's the strongest. I don't know if you feel like you want to go with Jadarian Price rushing yards over. I'm okay with that one too.
Well, it's 6 touchdowns versus 800 yards. I don't know. It just seems like a trap is all it is. Like that's my only issue with it.
Okay.
It seems like the NFL is setting us up to take an easy over.
Most of these on the surface look like easy overs. Regular season games started. When do you think the Cardinals bench Brissett halfway through the season?
I'd go higher for Carson Beck.
I think they get not competitive pretty early on.
So they turned it back early.
That division's going to tear them apart. Yeah, you got to see what you have. And teams will usually switch around the bye week. So even if the Cards have like week 14 bye week, that gives 3 games there, right? So I think we're just not betting on a week 14 bye week for the Cardinals.
They have an early bye week and he comes back.
Yeah, because they usually switch out. They switch him out.
Yeah, he drops in. Yeah.
Okay. And it's not like Brissett will be. I like these props a lot. I think Shador too over 7.5 looks strong.
I don't like Mendoza's just because Kirk Cousins just got paid all that money.
Yeah, that's tough. I can see this going either way. I can legit see them just coaching him, like an organization run by Brady, and then having Cousins there. I could see him just coaching him the whole year, and not trying to force it till he's ready.
Yeah,
receiving's always tough.
I don't like any of that.
Well, all this is you're buying the ceiling here, right? You're buying ceiling outcomes. Though Puka,
I'm not touching Justin Jefferson's prop until I know for sure that they're not starting Kyler or JJ.
All these, they're going to start Kyler,
which means I'm not touching Justin Jefferson.
And JJ needs to just be not a thing anymore in football. He's just embarrassing.
What do you mean he's embarrassing?
The whole 9 shit, dude. Like, come on, get out of here.
He's a kid. Leave him alone.
Yeah, I guess that's the problem. It's like I want a grown man playing football.
That's kind of the problem with kids being able to go to like one and done universities. It's not even one and done. They go for like a year transfer. There's no time to mature behind an actual like guy who's been there, done that.
Checking out Devontae Smith's receiving yards. He had 1,000 yards last season with AJ Brown on the team. This 949 looks pretty strong, assuming everybody stays healthy. I think this is a prop I like the most from these receiving yards. Evans, if he stays healthy, is just going to smash this 934. Tet will probably get over 1,000 yards.
I'm not seeing at this level of prop. I'm liking everybody, even Marvin Harrison at 850. I'm okay with.
Dude, Ted had 1,000 last year. I can see Bryce Young or Carolina taking a step back, but I don't see him getting any less involved.
I don't see that. I don't see them taking like a monumental step forward, but I don't see them regressing in any way.
Yeah, I think he's good for this number too, and I think I like Devontae Smith a little better, but because of
Smitty's is the more reliable guy.
Yeah. Buka's 824 seems like a smash too.
What's is Godwin still in system?
Godwin's coming back, yeah, but he got a season ender last year, right? And he's only older this year.
True. And
And there's no Mike
would
Evans.
be the
No Mike Evans. Auden's another year older too. I think Igbuka's 824 here is amazing. That's a really good one to take the over on. Pittman 775 I like a lot. Higgins.
No, I just don't know who's going to be quarterback up in Pittsburgh right now.
Yeah. But he survived the Daniel Jones gone era. Because he's just
I don't think he's quarterback
receiver
by any
one.
means,
He's just
but
a big body possession guy. He's got to be safe. He's got to give it safe for yards, like 50 yards a game at least. These other, like Christian Watson stays healthy. He's at this figure in like 7 games. Because they just got rid of Wicks and they cleared up a lot of the roles there.
I just don't like Green Bay as a whole.
Yeah, it's really tough to say.
I don't want to put my eggs in their basket right now. Maybe Josh Jacobs, but
Yeah.
I don't know what his props look like, you know.
Denzel Boston 500 yards under. I'd take the under, I think. Rookie in the Cleveland Browns offense when he's got another premier rookie to compete against, plus Jerry Jeudy, plus Harold Fannin.
Yeah, he's not. Well, I mean, unless he turns out to be like a what do they call it? A prodigy.
Yeah, he's a first rounder receiver, and he did pretty good things at Washington, but I don't think he's anywhere near as good as talent. The other talent he has on that team.
I don't know. First round receivers are weird, man. It seems like they're either a gold jacket waiting to happen, or they're just nonsense.
I don't think he's going to get the chance to even prove that he's either on that team in that situation as like the wide receiver 3 or 4. Not until later. I mean, his ceiling's like wide receiver 3 or
kind of blend into every other receiver. Yeah.
Touchdowns here. DJ Moore kind of stands out at 5.5.
No, I don't trust it.
I don't trust it either.
It's the problem is the last guy who went to Buffalo, who I thought was going to take over as the wide receiver 1, was DJ Moore's former running mate, Curtis Samuel, and Josh Allen just didn't use him.
He tried to, and then he got hurt, and then he didn't use him.
Yeah, it's upsetting to me. It's not that Josh Allen's like the problem, but
we're missing one leg on this parlay. Of all the ones we talked about, Jadarian Price rushing over, Jahmyr Gibbs rushing touchdown over, Carson Beck 3.5 games, or any of those receiving yards. Which one stands out to you the most to finish this parlay out? Montgomery 5.5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it seems like the surefire bet, but I'm terrified of it. But I do agree that it is going to be. What am I looking at right now? Season
receiving yards?
Receiving yards?
Yeah.
Yeah, Javonte Williams isn't getting no 225 receiving yards. Get me out of this. Yeah, I mean, DeMonte truly does seem like the safest pick, but it feels.
I just think he's gonna smash this, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Should be it. This should be a nice payday.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
So we can place this bet. Nobody changed, right?
No, I like Dak. I like Caleb. I like Lamar. Jaden, be nice. Herbo always does his work. Cam Ward is going to take a big step forward this year. Jeremiah Love's a bit of a wild card, and DeMonte seems too safe to be true.
Yeah.
But,
and Lamar, we just need him to stay healthy. And
right. That's exactly it. I like everybody to do what we think they're going to do. And I do like everybody's chances of being healthy. I am worried Dak might get hurt, but the offensive line is solid. Same with Caleb Williams. I don't worry about him being injured, but I worry about him running for his life. Herbo had the injuries last year, but assuming that the
He
training
still
staff,
carried the figure, and he had the worst year you could map out for him, short of a season-ending injury.
right, but of him getting hurt, yeah.
He was hurt last
Didn't,
year. He just didn't end his season. He was hurt, and he still did what he did. Got
didn't he get
37
hurt
yards.
on like his offhand though? Wasn't that the case?
He had
Like,
several injuries. I think there was like a rib thing, leg
oh, there
thing.
was a rib thing. Now that you're talking about it, yeah. Now that you mention it, yeah. I mean, I like everybody on this leg.
So
I
we
like
just
every
need
leg of this parlay.
Daniels and Jackson to stay healthy, pretty much.
Yeah. Other than that, I feel like everybody's well within their achievable bounds.
Yeah.
We're not out kicking our coverage, so to speak, on any of this.
Yep.
Except for the fact that we tagged an 8-leg parlay. That we might be out kicking our coverage on an 8-leg parlay.
There's a cleaner bet where we just take these top 3 quarterbacks, get rid of Daniels, get rid of Jackson, and I think everybody else seems like solid if we did that.
I mean, it removes the shaky, but it also removes the upside.
Let's do this. Let's play this 50. And then we'll go with the cleaner bet.
Normally I only do 8-leg parlays when I'm betting like $1.
Yeah, well, this is called fun, Goo.
All reckless.
It's called reckless, but it's fun. Plus, I'm not bad at this stuff.
Can be fun.
Not bad at this stuff, so we'll see what happens. It is reckless, so 6-leg parlays are not recommended.
They're not encouraged.
Yeah, not encouraged. Don't try this.
For the audience at home, I do not encourage more than 3-leg parlays.
Don't try this at home unless you're underdog and you're listening to us. In which case, try this at home. So sponsor the show.
More parlays. Keep putting more parlays down.
I think all these are safe. The only one in hindsight that doesn't look as safe as Jeremiah Love.
It's tough to bet on rookie running backs, man.
Yeah, but I mean that top 5 draft capital is gonna just lock him into.
I agree. He's gonna get so much volume unless he gets
7 yards a game. But for a bad team, he's probably got 57 yards a game in him. But I think in the spirit of this bet, if we're just saying let's trim the questions, like trim the actual questions, then we're left with 5. What I would consider like these 2 again are just gold stars. Caleb
assuming no injuries, assuming no
injuries. I don't see how they don't hit it. Herbo tried to miss it last year and couldn't, apart from just actually getting injured outright. And his whole situation, everything's an upgrade for him this year. Right. So that seems like a lock. Ward, I think we feel the same way. Everything's better, and we believe in the talent, and the coaching is better. It's just another lock. And then Monty, 5.5 touchdowns. I don't see how he doesn't get there, being the only goal line presence, and the defense being what it is just going to keep shutting people down, causing short field situations. I like him for 5.5, but I guess if the full spirit of the bet, like let's take him out. And I think these 4.
So I guess if we're going for safety's sake, he seems like such a safe bet. We should just keep it in, right?
You think he's a lock? That's the threshold I want to meet here with this bet is a lock.
But so I mean, it seems like
I think he's a lock. I know you had all those questions earlier.
Well, my only question is it seems too good to be true.
He's in that.
That's what I mean. It's one of those situations where it's just like these are all legitimate slam dunks. How did they let us put these 5 legs together?
All right. Slightly lower payout. 50 is good. I think for a lock,
we're in. I like the flex thing if you like to be a little bitch. But
no, it's too late. You said it.
If you like to,
it is in, baby.
Be a little bitch, you do that flex thing. But if you like to run whole hog, if we're gambling, we may as well be gambling,
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, in the spirit of hedging your bets and doing all the safe stuff and not getting to the point where you have a legitimate problem with this stuff, the flex is a nice option. And stay away from those super high upside ones that'll the 8x multipliers, the chili bets, stuff like that. I am a big fan of the way that we're approaching this right now. Not necessarily safe picks, but confidence in what you're doing,
Actually, well, just from the for everything you can project out here at this point in time with this much information.
I mean, so early in the season, we could be looking at training camp injuries that blow up these rosters and these parlays immediately.
And that's why I like
even come to training camp, but
I like finding guys that I don't think the market is caught up on the value yet in terms of the number. So like the Caleb Williams stuff, that 30, it's just a wrong price, right? So that's what I mean. It's just a wrong price. It'll go up.
I'm actually wholeheartedly shocked at where they have passing yards in general in the offseason.
It's pretty low. But we assume 17 games played for all these guys.
I saw something moving behind you, and my dumbass thought it was moving behind me.
No, but it's a dog.
So I'm looking at my bed trying to figure out what's moving behind me. No, is your dog on your bed?
Yeah,
that's awesome. Oh, I love that baby. She's doing all right.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah,
good.
We had a tornado watch today, so the thunderstorm she wasn't crazy about.
Poor baby. Yeah. She seems to be doing all right though. She wagging that tail a second ago.
She knows we're gonna go on a walk after this.
Gotcha. She has the whole schedule down.
All right. So we need to post this at some point.
So as long as were you not able to connect it to?
No, I think I was. I guess we can check to see if YouTube's.
Well, let me do this actually. YouTube.com, and we're going to go just to our fantasy podcast channel and see if I can watch the stream. Is that what it's called? Yeah. What? All right, so it doesn't look like we're streaming to the channel, but if you have it partnered, it makes it a lot easier to transfer it over.
Yeah, we got to figure out how to get that going.
So do you have it connected to your StreamYard? Like you have it as an available destination?
I believe so. After we hang up right now, I'll go ahead and try and get it. We can probably end the show right now and then call you back.
All right, yeah, that's actually probably a good idea. We don't need everybody having to walk us through this. All right, guys, for episode 3 of the Rowdy Bros Fantasy Podcast, this is Nagu and Troy signing off.
Good night. I'm Ron Burgundy.